What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another picks, preview, and prediction podcast featuring our friend from the We Are RIZIN podcast, the mighty J Wolf, and we'll be covering the RIZIN New Year's Eve card, also known as the has a few names here, also known as the RIZIN Year-End Super Fighter Festival, also known as the RIZIN Shiwasu no Cho Tsuwamono Matsuri. J Wolf, how's it going?
Nice. What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for having me on here to go through this. I mean, I'm so pumped for this. Yeah, Karshyga and MMA just had a comment. Superior Rule said, that's right, brother. This is going to be an epic card. I cannot wait, dude. This is the 10-year anniversary, the actual 10-year anniversary right now. And, dude, they just stacked this card for us, bro. It's arguably one of the best that they've ever done. And, I'm so hyped.
It really is. Going through it, taking my notes, watching tape, and just going through all the matchups again. It really got me, like, these last 24 hours and listening to all the preview shows that are now on YouTube and the podcast sphere and on Twitter and Instagram. Hearing everyone's picks on their rundown is really getting me excited because there are some really high level matchups. And I'm like going through this card and I'm like, oh, this is like the third fight on the card. This would be a headliner fight night or, like a landmark card. And then we're like halfway through the card. I'm like, this would be like the top of, a numbered card. So they always do this for New Year's. They never cease to disappoint. Other than with like a non-existent heavyweight division, but we'll get to that. We will get to that. So only two big fights fell through on this card, and that was the heavyweight Grand Prix, not even the Grand Prix final, but the heavyweight Grand Prix, if you want to call it that. Winner Alexander Soldalkin was supposed to take on Ryan Bader for the inaugural heavyweight title. Ryan Bader pulled out as a lot of people expected. So,
man,
who knows what's going to happen with heavyweight in RIZIN. Hopefully 2026 they will be aggressive with some free agents and try to build that division, or go the cross promotional fight route. And then Juan Archuleta, unfortunate, J Wolf, because I totally thought that this time he'd come back, make weight, and then actually have one of his textbook and patented walkouts where, his last couple have been stumbling, to the ring, making weight an hour before a show, only to get kneed in the gut by Asakura. And then after that, trying to, take it seriously, having a very serious, no nonsense, Keith Peterson style walkout and still losing. Unfortunately, we get none of the above. We don't even get a dramatic weight miss as he was having some visa issues. And so Suguru Knee's actually still on the card. And it's an even more interesting matchup, which I have a lot to talk about because I think that matchup affects a different matchup on this card directly in the outcome. We'll get to that when we get to that. But just your quick thoughts on the cancellation of both of these fights before we get into the first matchup here. I'm just going to call it friggin' high school tournament. PE tournament.
Yeah, the Koshian tournament. Yeah. But no, I'm super bummed because, I love my heavyweights and I'm really high on Soldalkin. I think he's a really great fighter. It's a diamond in the rough that they found, and just, man. But you know what? It goes to show you how, booking 15 plus fights on here, that's the way to go because, even losing a big, high profile in our
only two
like that.
Only two losses. You look at these big cards that like Fury FC and ACA put on, like 24, 25 fights. There's always 4 to 5 fights that fizzle because there's so many, higher probability of, disaster.
Yeah. And it's usually a big hit to the card, right? If one of the main fights gets, falls off for whatever reason.
I mean, Juan's hardly a main fight. And I know he's flying knee guys on the friggin' Vegas regional that's lower than Tough Enough, but still he's hardly, if Kleber's not even in the upper echelon of this card, then
yeah,
Juan would be like in the top in like the opening two.
Well, the heavyweight in our heavyweight title fight was going to be one of the premier fights on the card and one of the most high profile ones with Bader. And losing it, dude, it doesn't even make a dent in the card, bro. It's still an epic card. Just, man, I'm so hyped for it still. And just goes to show you, dude, stacking it with 15 plus fights, that's the way to go. I absolutely love it. So, and yeah, it was a bummer to lose Archuleta, but it's cool they, he's probably going to fight in 2026, and then I'm sure they're going to keep Soldakian and do the inaugural title fight in 2026 sometime as well. So it just depends on when Bader heals up, and they'll get that done. So it's not like completely gone. It's just delayed a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
The card is stacked, bro. It didn't even make a dent in the card to lose those fights. So
no, it really didn't. It really didn't. And let's jump right into it here. One last thing, and like I know this is kind of opening Pandora's box, but like this is really the only time Jay Wolf and I get to connect. And it's like once a month we talk about freaking Japanese MMA for 2 hours, and then rinse and repeat the next month. The Black Combat is like, yes. I think Jay Wolf and my new like favorite promotion, or at least is up there with RIZIN. Jay Wolf is actually in the chat for one of their last big cards watch parties, which thank God you were in the chat, because I'll say this, for everything good that Black Combat does, they almost spoil it with like an hour intermission at 3 a.m. And you were bitching and complaining, and it was like, midnight for you. I'm like, bro, it's like 2-3 a.m. for us. Like, shut the fuck up, buddy. You gotta
when you get older, dude, it's harder to stay up.
Bro,
late.
I'm almost in my mid-30s. Okay, I'm like knocking on the door.
You're still early for another year. You're still young gun, man.
But anyways, Black Combat has some exciting things coming up. If you guys are a fan of RIZIN, if you're a fan of just that violent style, superior rule set, I would say that Mr. Black in Black Combat has turned things up even like to 10, because unlike RIZIN, where they'll give like their own homegrown guys like just tough matchups, which we'll get to later on. There's an example on this card, and we'll get to it later in the show. Black Combat, to just elevate their own guys, brought in absolute savages. Instead of bringing in guys to promotion to elevate their guys and then just give their own guys, hard matchups internally, like RIZIN, the decision to bring in international talent, mostly from Brazil, and now with Team USA coming in for that little World Cup that Black Combat is doing. It's really cool to see that they're they've recognized already that, look, we're not like going to compete with even Road FC yet if we don't bring in better guys into our league and elevate the competition. And as a result, and this is where I'm getting to it, long and the short of it, man, the cards have been really, really good. Really good. So if you're a fan of RIZIN,
once a month too, it totally justifies the subscription. Like I haven't canceled my. I just keep the subscription going because they give me a card once a month. That's all I ask for. So I keep that subscription going, man. And I love it. It has a full replay as much as you want. They don't, and the archive fights don't go away. It's there in the archive for forever. It's not like a 2-week. I watched in 2 weeks or it's disappeared.
There's just really good content too, kind of like what RIZIN puts out for free, but like I would say highly produced, like Ultimate Fighter type shows and things. It's almost like a little mini Fight Pass on YouTube. But yeah, just gotta say, because I know Jay Wolf's a big fan of it as well, I put him onto it. If you guys are a fan of the superior rule set and don't want to just like get through 8 fights on Deep just to see 2 or 3 superior rule sets at the end of a card, because let's be honest, Deep is more Khabib fights than not, 2-round fights, if you guys get my drift. I would say, Black Combat, highly recommend it. Your sleep schedule is already fucked because you watch Japanese MMA with us anyways. You may as well just fuck it up even more and watch some Black Combat.
Well, you only have to stay up late because it's got full replay and full replay archive and everything. It's awesome, dude. And for your award show, did you see that reply that I sent you for on the RIZIN FF Fans Discord? You sent out a notification that you're going to be doing an award show. And I suggested the category of best superior rule set, action, finish, action, and event. And Black Combat has so far is the front runner, in my opinion.
They might have every single nomination outside the chat. What was that? There was a North American. Oh no, it was in Mexico. UWC. There was a disqualification, kick to the face. The guy was winning the fight, dude. He was winning the fight, and Buddy was getting back up, and he booted him, like, and he knocked him the fuck out. Booted him, and everyone in my chat, yeah, just squall fucking fied right from, you know, the Mexican league, the pacified rules, unified rules. But that one has to go in the nomination, even though he was disqualified. Like, it put Soldakin to shame, dude. It was like, I don't even want to talk about Soldakin's like shitty ass disqualification superior rule set. I was like, oh, this one was like, it was like he looked. It's like he teed up at the golf course and said, "Nah, I'm just gonna use my foot," and just boom right to his face. So.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, 10 minutes in, there's our intro, guys. There's our housekeeping notes. Go check out the We Are RIZIN podcast as well, as Jay Wolf was featured on that, and Focus Fight Show. Both of those are on YouTube. Let's get to the first fight here. And if you guys, just like Drew in the chat already has, which I listened to your show, I commented like 10 times. I heard that, but he provided some extra info as well. If you guys want to chime in the conversation, please do so in the chat. And for those who are watching, if you just got here via the timestamps, that was our extended intro. We're going to fire through every single one of these matchups because we have 14 fucking fights to get to. No kickboxing, by the way. No kickboxing. Just MMA. We got a lot of former kickboxers on the card, but just all MMA. And starting with Yuri Suda against Enzo Massami Iamazato. Now, these two guys, as Drew pointed out in the live chat here, these guys have grappled each other before. In Gi BJJ, and Suda actually subbed Iamazato in less than a minute. Now, that was a few years ago. They're each 16 years of age. We know how development works, right? You know, 2-3 years ago, completely, almost like a lifetime ago, especially with athletes like these guys who aren't even close to being adults yet. I know you guys dug into this one a little bit on your show. I'm still going with Suda. I just think Suda's still the better grappler out of the two. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded. He does come out of the more notable gym. Yeah, I mean, there was like near impossible to find film on any of these guys because they don't have pro fights. It was just like RIZIN clips that they pretty much and their social media accounts. Are you thinking the same thing? You going with Yuri Suda? I don't even think you can bet on this one because I don't even think that's legal. But
yeah, did you see this is the Koshien tournament that they do to try to find the next Japanese star. And
yes, Mr. Really No Eyebrows, by the way. What a fucking star on Deep. Probably the most boring fighter I've ever seen come out of Japan. But anyways. Oh, seriously, he had the worst. He ruined the Deep card, Mr. No Eyebrows, who did he win the last one? Or
did you talk about Rice Ball Kid?
Yeah, he's awful, awful. So I hope one of these guys turns out to be better.
Yeah, well, I mean, did you watch any of the Koshien tournament?
No.
Put it up on YouTube.
Well, no, actually, I saw everything RIZIN put up on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, then you can see a little bit of background on these guys and their journey through the tournament. And, you know, I just would like them to air it live and add some content to RIZIN.TV and, you know, to add to some of their content there. But, yeah, no, it was pretty cool. And as Drew pointed out on the We Are RIZIN podcast, both these guys are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters. And Suda has a little bit more experience with he has like I forget what an amateur fight or something in like Shuto or something. I forget what it is now, but he just has, you know, a little bit more experience than the other guy. And if he submitted him already in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, I know it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you know, everybody has
and no-gi.
Yeah, and everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? So he could have all the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu he wants, but it could all go out the window when he's getting. Well, I guess Drew said he can't stomp him or anything, but you know, you can punch him in the face and stuff so it might throw off his plans a little bit. But I'm still picking him to win. Because just based on the experience factor alone, and you know, Drew was saying that he's probably got a little bit better striking, so I'm gonna go with Suda. Yeah,
and he's out of Scorpion Gym. I just like I don't know. I don't even know what hard combat is. So I'm going with the Scorpion Gym guy. Just probably has better coaches, probably has better training partners, and just from everything that I saw, looked further along. All right, let's get to the friggin' meat on the bone right away. Because honestly, like, that is the prelim. That's the fun fight. Friggin' grandma, auntie, little and big sister. They're going to be there supporting him. Whatever. This is like, let's get to it here. We have Catfish, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryusei Ashizawa taking on Ryoma Shishimoto. Shishimoto is 2-0 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, including his amateur bouts. Fought in Gladiator. This is his RIZIN debut. He fought guys who never won a pro fight as a pro, and his only 2 wins as an amateur were against guys who are in their second fight, respectively. He has 2 finishes. 3 finishes. Doctor stoppage as well at the end of the first round in his last fight. It is to be noted that he has not fought since 2018. Ashizawa, we know Catfish, man. We know Catfish, kickboxing crossover. Super violent, super crazy on the feet, kind of throws caution to the wind to be entertaining. It's weird because like some fights, it seems like he's dangerous. Some fights, it seems like he's just chinny as hell. But when he puts it all together, man, like he was involved in one of the best RIZIN fights I've ever seen. That was one of the sloppiest RIZIN fights I've ever seen. Him versus Kuzi 2 in MMA. Unbelievable, that fight that occurred in 2024. Now in MMA, like you can see that he's drilling, grappling, takedown defense. He's doing the right things when he's up against the turnbuckle, up in the corner, up against the ropes. It's just he's not strong in those positions yet. So whenever he faces someone who is more well-rounded or who has a grappling background and who's a good striker, he's cooked. And that's literally what's happened the last 2 times. Umeno's actually someone who I thought that Catfish would have a way better chance of beating. Umeno showed that just simply his MMA had evolved so much more. And Umeno is now an MMA fighter, not still just a kickboxing crossover guy, right? He's actually transcended into that MMA fighter realm. Fukuda absolutely destroyed him, knocked him down a couple times, and the second one was brutal. Beating old Shoji, which was fun. Again, this was one of the best fights I've ever seen, but Koji was in his second MMA fight and older and crashing cars into light posts. So Catfish is always fun to watch, even, for if not for his crazy fight style, if not for the just bleed old school MMA fan aspect of the show, when he gets on the mic after and just battle raps, it's just chef's kiss. So Ryoma hasn't fought since fucking 2018, man. I'm going with Ashizawa. I know there's a puncher's chance Ryoma maybe could knock him out. I don't think he's a threat to Ashizawa as well. I think Ashizawa's either going to finish him early or drag this on and put on a show for 3 rounds and then beat the shit out of him like a punching bag.
I sure hope you're right. I want Ashizawa to get the win. We all love Catfish. I love how you were giving them you saw the RIZIN Awards, and you were giving them shit for not nominating Catfish for the best fight category and giving it to a Mikuru fight. And you commented underneath that tweet saying, "Oh no, this is a travesty. It should have gone to Catfish."
I mean, of course, it's going to Mikuru. Mikuru's look at Mikuru's in the main event. He does not deserve to be in the main event. He's the
golden boy for him.
But he does not deserve to be in the main event. But,
yeah, he does. He's the biggest superstar they got. But I mean, for the best fight, he definitely should have not been the best fight. The one that you were talking about with Catfish, that was absolutely the best fight. And he's had 2 of them this year. 2 Fight of the Year candidates this year. So, I mean, that's pretty good for anybody. So, the guy's always exciting, win or lose. And I just hope he gets it done this time. And the guy he's fighting, is his nickname Jolly?
Yeah.
Is that the right nickname for him?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, and Drew was saying that he's got a boxing background. So, this is the RIZIN matchmakers doing what we asked and not throwing Catfish in there against some grappler, to see where his grappling's at. They threw a striker in there against him so we can get another banger out of him, because that's all the guy knows how to do is just put on bangers.
Oh yeah, no, they are giving Ashizawa the biggest layup, and if Ashizawa can't beat him, honestly, I know you can market Ashizawa, but if he wants to take this seriously, and if you want to punish him a little bit, tell him, sorry man, you got to fight in deep a couple times because this is getting ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
seriously, this dude, the guy hasn't fought since 2017 or 2018. And yeah, I don't know how old is he?
Oh, what does it say there?
I don't think it says on Tapology. So like he's probably old.
He doesn't look that old.
I'm gonna guess he's 38. You know what I mean?
I don't even think he looks that old. At least not from
the pictures. He's Japanese, bro. There's 60-year-olds who look younger than me there. Like, come on.
No, but even if Catfish loses, it doesn't. They don't go by wins and losses. It depends.
I know they go by bad performances, and if he loses, he's probably going to get knocked out early because I can't. You're telling me you've seen Ryoma fight in the last 5 years? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm talking about Catfish. I think Catfish has done enough and been more exciting enough to where even if he loses and gets on a losing streak, they're going to bring him back because he's just an exciting fighter.
The Imeno fight was not exciting. He got wrestle fucked by a kickboxer.
The other two were.
He got knocked out in the first 2 minutes by Fukuda.
Yeah, but the
J-Wolf, come on now. I want to see him continue as well. You got to be realistic here. If he gets knocked out by, and I hate to be disrespectful, but by a guy who is brought in to get knocked out by Catfish, then you punish Catfish somehow. Either you pay him less for his next fight, or you say fighting deep before the next show because this is getting ridiculous, dude. You're clearly not taking this seriously.
All right.
He's 28? Okay. I'm still hasn't fought since 20.
I knew he looked younger than then.
Hasn't fought since 2018. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with any. He has a good overhand. So Catfish can't get caught. But I'm confident Ashizawa wins this. You know what's crazy though? 75% of people on Tapology are picking Shishimoto. What? So like, wow. Is there something I don't know, or is the Japanese fans giving up on Catfish?
I don't know. I can't believe they would do that after the exciting performances he's put on.
It's because he's a breaking down guy. That's why. So he's popular.
Yeah, that's got to be it. Even with the Tapology people, that's strange. I didn't know they were. But anyways, really, I'm just looking for this one to be a striker's delight. I'm really happy with the matchmaking, and I'm hoping Ashizawa can get it done and get the W here, and that'll put the rest any talk of him having to go down a deep or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I want to see a good fight too, and honestly, I thought the Umeno fight was going to be awesome, but like it's MMA. Umeno was like, I'm going to neutralize his crazy striking and just pretty much grapple him and hold him up against the ropes, and it worked. And Fukuda knocked him out early. So it's like, what are you going to do? So I do think the matchmakers know what they're doing with this one, and I'm excited for it, and I hope it delivers. I really hope Catfish doesn't get knocked out early.
Me too.
Because that would be devastating. That would be devastating.
Yeah, no, I want to get the W and come back for it, because all the guy does is put on exciting bouts. Goes out either on a shield or gets with this badass fight and knockout.
Absolutely. Speaking of badass fights and knockouts, we should see one of the two or both in this one. We have Rude Boy Tatsuki Shinosuke against Daichi Tomizawa. Now, Tomizawa, both of these guys, kickboxing crossovers. Tomizawa, 28 years of age. He is 2-1 in mixed martial arts, winning his last fight and actually looking pretty damn good. Beat Joe Hiromasa in his last fight. Now, it was in September, so it was actually not. He doesn't fight often in MMA, but it wasn't super long ago. It could be worse. But he did beat Joe Hiromasa. I think that's a really good win. As Joe Hiromasa, I thought was going to take that one, despite him not being super strong, nor too much of like a knockout threat. Like, he's pretty sound in his technique. And so what that told me about Tomizawa is that he's been really drilling just the fundamentals in MMA. And I thought that the decision went to the right guy. No shame in losing to Ersin, even though Ersin's nothing special. He just had a lot more experience. I loved his win against Kotamura. I don't know how anybody couldn't. It was a beautiful knee. And I would say he's just absolutely. And he's pretty tough as well. Hard to finish on the feet. And a technical striker who just has some dog in him and is very good, or is very comfortable in brawling. Now, Shinosuke, definitely more of a brawler than the technical fighter. In mixed martial arts, he's 0-1. As a kickboxer, he's 3-1. Wait, so he's way more than 3-1. What is this? Oh, bare knuckle, right? Is this bare knuckle?
Yeah. He was the guy that was going to do the collaboration with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, but then he had to pull out because of injury. Hopefully that collaboration is still going to happen in the future. And they got guys like John Dotson, the bare knuckle champion. So hopefully that's still going on. And
it's not, but it was fun while it lasted. It's not, unfortunately, it's not happening anymore, but it was fun while it lasted. Because he was with Ren and some of the other Black Rose guys when Sakakibara came to Vegas. They went to a show right before the partnership started. And I know Sakakibara met with like the UFC, and that's when kind of like, I don't want to say the RIZIN invasion, but more of the doors opened and Kai Asakura came over. It's unfortunate that he didn't get that fight in North America. Some of the fights that did occur in RIZIN were fun though, but yeah, honestly, BKFC didn't pull their weight, and I don't blame RIZIN for being like, all right, guys, fuck off.
Well, I mean, I think those bare knuckle fights really like went a long way to where they're manning up about the cuts now. They're not such pussies about
RIZIN held their end of the bargain. I think BKFC just didn't even advertise it at all, other than going on Arrow's Hawani show once. So it's just not a thing anymore, and neither of them really need it. So
I still like it because, like I was saying,
I liked it. It's just
cuts. Because remember before when they were stopping the fights because there was cuts or too much blood or.
Yeah, but like I'm not saying this has nothing to do with RIZIN. This has everything to do with BKFC. RIZIN held every part of their end. This is not RIZIN saying we don't want to do it anymore. This is BKFC. Dude, since the moment it happened, BKFC just like did not share anything, never talked about it. We've talked about it more than BKFC. That's what I'm saying. It's not a thing anymore. Like I'm not even like it hasn't been a thing for a year and a half. It's never going to be a thing. They don't have a partnership anymore. It was fun while it lasted. The two cards that they had a little feature on, but maybe RIZIN does it in their own way down the road. But I think them trying to build off of or gauge BKFC's fans, branding it as a BKFC fight, not just like a modified bare knuckle fight in RIZIN. BKFC again wasn't holding their end of the bargain of even sharing it at all. So like, why would RIZIN promote them for free? You know what I mean?
All right, I guess, but I mean, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I loved how it manned them up about the cuts and blood and stuff like that, and I like seeing John Dotson over here and stuff. So I still got hope for the future. And Shinosuke seemed like he wanted to fight in there and just got injured. So I don't know. Maybe something could happen in the future, but that would be a bummer if it not.
It's like, unless the Japanese people want it, and honestly, I think they're just going to get that craziness and breaking down. Like, I don't think RIZIN's going to... Seriously, like, there's a lot of shit that's gone down and breaking down the last couple of months. But anyways, looking at his quickly his MMA experience here, there's not a lot. Modified kickboxing rules in RIZIN, BKFC, bare knuckle in RIZIN, kickboxing in RIZIN upon coming over from K1 and Crush, where he did win titles in Crush and competed in the K1 World Grand Prix, or at least was on the K1 World Grand Prix card in 2023. He got absolutely destroyed by Kondo. Kondo took him down ground and pound, and Kondo is horrible. So Kondo beats you. Kondo does have experience. Like, Kondo at least like understands the fundamentals, but goes up against a guy with talent in any one of those areas in MMA, and he just gets absolutely destroyed. So as soon as he took him down and Shinosuke couldn't get back up, it was over. So this one should, knock on wood, and is probably gonna be more of a striker's delight, as you would say, given that I think Tomizawa will try, like he did against Joe Hiromoto, to employ mixed martial arts. I think Shinosuke will be able to defend and scramble out of more than he could have with Kondo, who's just more experienced, trains with better guys. We'll never get over the hump, but still, I have Tomizawa winning this one. I have Tomizawa winning this one just because of the MMA factor. I think he's just a better MMA fighter now, and he just, with his limited experience, but still, like you say, looked good in his last fight, putting it all together. I do know that he lost in kickboxing, which is why I do think he's going to employ other tools here, because Shinosuke did beat him in a kickboxing fight. If Shinosuke takes it to him in the small gloves, he could knock him out early. He could drag it into a brawl, and even though Tomizawa can brawl and has been in a lot of fun fights brawling, I do think Shinosuke will just find the mark first. I'm still confident that Tomizawa drags this out and won't get sucked into Shinosuke's game throughout 3 rounds anyways.
And you're probably right, especially if he's not going to... If it's going to be a striker's delight, then Shinosuke's definitely got a chance. But if not, he's going to mix it up, mix the martial arts, then he can score some takedowns and stuff. And we don't know how good Shinosuke is going to be on the ground. So, that's probably a good pick for Tomizawa. But also, another thing we got to point out about Shinosuke and Team Black Rose and all them, even with Catfish earlier, they're going to have hopefully some elaborate walkouts and bring back the pageantry for the 10-year anniversary show. And we already got word that they're going to bring out the drum for the opening ceremony and might have some guys in fundoshis banging on the drum, Almighty Pride FC style. So hopefully we get some elaborate walkouts as well. And definitely the Black Rose guys will participate in that if they're going to be doing that. So
we'll need Sakaki Bar out there, man, just like half naked, almost shedding a tear. Man, I've seen Oscar performances not as less emotional than Saki Kabara's face just staring, looking at all the men in the audience.
Dude, that
fucking stare.
The Otoko Matsuri opening ceremony.
It was the manliest shit I've ever seen.
I know, right? That was epic, bro. That was unbelievable. It was Almighty Pride FC-esque. It was the best opening ceremony since the first RIZIN show and some Almighty Pride FC.
And you just know that they didn't even finish the sentence before Yuri agreed. They're like, Yuri, want to invite you? Yes.
I know, right?
You have to wear. I know.
It's like, I'm already wearing one.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Let's get to this next one here. The return of Bei Noah in RIZIN, taking on. Oh, it's not Nazimov. He's taking on Tetsuya Seika.
Yeah,
who's the replacement in this one? I want to hear your RIZIN, dude. Tapology hasn't updated shit. I want to hear your thoughts before I get into my pick and my preview for this. What was your reaction to this fight being rejigged?
I love it. I think it's even better fight now, because before, when Nazimov was going to be in, I thought Nazimov was just going to beat him, and I like
Nazimov was absolutely going to destroy him any way he wanted.
And now he's got a chance to win, right? And I know you've been watching him in LFA. You've seen his LFA fights, right? Like, yep. Bei Noah has been looking really good as of late and shown really good growth in his mixed martial arts career. Like, I mean, I was really impressed with his LFA fights and his clear growth in his takedown defense ability and stand-up ability to get off the mat. Because he's a kickboxing crossover guy. So it's great. I love to see it when the kickboxing crossovers, can get their grappling up to par, right? To hang in mixed martial arts. And just, his LFA run was great. And I was, when when announced he was going to fight Nazimov, I was like, oh no, he's going to get his ass whooped. But then they reshuffled the card because of the injury to Nomura in a lightweight title fight. And I love how they moved Nazimov up to that lightweight title fight, which makes it even better now, in my opinion. And this bout now is even better because now Bei Noah's got a clear chance to win here. And props to Seika for stepping up.
Wait. Did you just say clear path to win here?
Yes, I believe Bei Noah's going to win 100%. I'm picking him to win. I think it's going to be a striking. Why, is he the underdog?
I don't know. We don't have odds or Tapology voting, but I think saying clear path is a stretch. I definitely think this now makes it more of a fight, because before it was like Nazimov could either on the outside land a shot, knock him out, or take him to the ground, submit him ground. Like he's just so much more of an accomplished fighter than Bei Noah. It just wouldn't have been fair. I still think that Seika is way more of an accomplished fighter. But it's gonna be more of a striking match, and it's more of a striking match with a less dangerous opponent. But having said all that, I still think Seika's gonna win.
Really? Wow.
13 and 6 as a pro. Wow. Certified Unk. And what year is it? I know this is New Year's Eve, not New Year's, and it's still the year of the goddamn Unk. 12 KO TKOs. I repeat, 12 knockouts. Now, yes, he's been KO TKO'd 4 times as well, but he's had 4 times the amount of fights this freaking Inoue has had. And Inoue is chinny as hell. Now, Inoue, as you said, has looked. Let me rephrase that. Inoue has been involved in some really fun fights in LFA, but look at the guys who he's fought. Guys who are at the same or worse level than him, and almost got finished 3 times in that fight. Got knocked down once in the first round, twice in the second, and then just had the gas tank in the third, which I respect and actually think that there's something to say about a guy who can recover quick and come back and finish someone, or at least not finish someone, but come back and finish the fight strong.
He was losing until he won.
It was one of those where like even the commentators was like, oh my god, like when do I say it's all over? Like, and it was just from like straight jabs and things like that. And it's he fought in some brutal fights in kickboxing and kind of took one to give one sort of thing. And then in his second fight in LFA, he honestly should have finished Cedric in like the first or second round. The fact that it went 3 was like, come on, man, you're better than this. It seemed like he was playing with his food a little bit in the second round, but it was going for it in the first round and actually got tagged a few times. So I just was like, he's won an LFA, which he needed to do, get reps there. They weren't giving him like guys who were just going to slaughter him. So sure, it's building him up.
Well, what about his grappling? How does grappling look to you? Don't you think it looked good?
It looked good against a 0-1 guy. It looked good against a 0-1 guy. You know what I mean? And he was still able to get back up to his feet. So like, again, I'm not like being critical just to be critical and be a dick. I'm just saying like he did what he needed to do. I'm glad he got the reps in LFA. I think that Seika is going to be one of the best guys he's fought next to Johnny Case. And that win against Johnny Case is his best win in mixed martial arts. Yeah, that was supposed to be a punishment fight for him. And then he turned it around and he got the W. Because in the Inoue fight, he just danced around. This wasn't really a fight. He just kind of danced around and looked like Chelsea Chandler in that one. Johnny Case, he looked really good. And you can never take that away from him. Had some momentum going into this fight in LFA, and I think was just a little too cocky. Got tagged, but ended up coming back strong in the second and third. Yeah, I'm going with Seika in this one. I know he's 0-3 in RIZIN, but went 9-1 in Pancrase, 4-1 in Fighting Nexus. He's still the king of Pancrase right now. Came into RIZIN and fought a really tough opponent. More of a striker, like well-rounded enough against other MMA fighters, but definitely more of a striker than not. And he goes toe-to-toe with either dangerous guys on the feet and guys who are way better on the ground. Usually get the better of him, either control him and get in top position and ground and pound, or like you said, he's lost twice via submission. So I definitely think if Seika is getting tagged on the feet, and he's like, okay, I don't want any of this kickboxing shit with Inoue, I do think he can at least get some takedowns, ground and pound, make it difficult for him up against the corner. I think just the experience factor will come in, because like Seika has fought guys.
Inoue has good enough defensive grappling now to keep it on the feet against Seika.
Not for like enough of a round to take the round.
Wow, okay.
Later in the fight, like in the first round, maybe. In the first round, maybe. But I think the first round they're going to test each other on the feet. I just think Seika has more tools. He's more well-rounded.
I'm still picking Inoue. I'm still going rolling my pick because he reps America.
There you go. One-dimensional grappling. He might have no chin.
One dimension is defensive grappling. That's all he needs. He's a striker at heart. So
he might have no chin, but I think he can beat the Unk.
Yes.
And Seika is known to KO guys with one punch power. That's the thing. Beino is still like quicker and lighter on the feet, but Seika, if like he's got a nasty hook and his overhand, and even just his straight shots, like his straight shots can put you down. And again, he's slower, but I still think I think he takes it. I think he beats the Black Panther.
I like that we're picking different guys.
Yeah. Usually we agree too much, and it makes for a boring show. But you got another USA guy in the next one here. Friend of the We Are RIZIN podcast, and hopefully friend of the City Life Project. I mean, I've talked to Shorty Torres a few times, like on Twitter. And on Instagram, actually. He's super interactive with those who comment on his posts. And if you just like send him a message, he just loves talking about the sport. Man, he's in a little bit of a funk right now. But if you dive deep into his last 5 fights, you really see that like he's only been fighting the best of the best and the top guys in all the leagues in which he's been competing against. So it's kind of an opposite here. It's Shorty Torres, who's on a 2-fight losing streak, 1-4 in his last 5 fights, but he has been putting on good performances even in losses. We'll get into it here. Whereas Joji Goto, 19-8-1, 3-fight win streak, and could get a title shot if he beats a UFC caliber and brave championship level Shorty Torres here. Now 13-5-1, and 4 of his 5 losses have come in his last 5 fights. 33 years of age, 4 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 7 decisions. Very much more of a decision fighter. He knocked guys out on the regional scene and is able to drop guys and stun guys as a pro, but hasn't been able to finish them a lot. Has never been submitted, and that's huge given, well, we'll get into some of the guys he's fought here. 1-1 in RIZIN, 1-1 in the UFC, was the Brave CF champion, and honestly should, say what you want about this fight. Some people say it should have gone Shorty's decision. Whether or not the winner of this fight should be fighting Mokaev, and I don't know if you see, what this is?
The duck?
That is actually Mokaev. Oh. Because he is terrified to fight Yuri Gapov. But anyways, I digress. So he fought and lost to Yuri Gapov, who's a guy who's supposed to be fighting for the Brave CF title. He's UFC caliber. He's an absolute monster out of Kazakhstan. If the UFC can't pick him up and Brave doesn't give a title shot, he might be one to come over to RIZIN, to be honest.
Yes.
Lost to Ougikubo, but went to a decision with him, got out-wrestled, but actually had some good scrambles. This was honestly a really fun fight. In his last loss, beat Makoto Shinryu in an excellent display of grappling. It was back and forth, and honestly, they had some good striking exchanges between the two of them. I think they each cut each other. There was some blood in that one. Lost twice to the Brave CF champ before Mokaev came in and now is there holding the throne. Some really good wins in Brave. Lost to Alex Perez in the UFC back in 2018. Like, really, really good resume, and ripped up Titan FC as well, holding their title until he got his UFC shot. So you look at the last guys who's lost to. Ougikubo, very, very just the Marab of Japan. DS Yuri Gapov, who was just slightly a better striker and was just a little bit stronger, so he was able to control and outstrike him in their exchanges in a very close fight where you could say one of the rounds could have been a swing. You could say it could have gone either way. Beat one of Japanese's best, and had a great trilogy fight against a Brave FC title, caliber guy as well. So and champion and former champ. So unbelievable career by Shorty Torres, and his 1-4 in his last 5 fights doesn't tell the whole story. Joji Goto, man, what a year for him. 3-fight win streak. Fought just over a month ago, got a knockout against Nakajima, retired Nakajima. 6 months ago, great win over Kashimura. And then in Pancrase, had a very brutal knockout against Kojima, and literally beat Mando Gutierrez right at the beginning of the year, who was a Ultimate Fighter alumni. And it was a close fight, but Mando was the huge favorite coming into that one, and Joji Goto basically was just like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, welcome to Japan, bitch. So he's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch. 19-8-1, a lot of mixed martial arts experience, 29 years of age, 10 knockouts, never been knocked out, and I doubt Shorty Torres is going to be the one to do it. He can get out grappled. He can get out wrestled, even though he does have grappling, way more of a striker, more so like he's slippery and can get out of exchanges and get back up to his feet. But I do think Shorty Torres has the wrestling advantage. He does have 5 decision wins, 0-1-1, 4-0 in RIZIN. And though I think, Nakajima, it was his retirement fight, still dangerous, still looked good until he didn't. Like, he landed a couple good shots on Nakajima, or on on Joji Goto here. And again, 8 losses doesn't really reflect poorly on him, as again, the Mando Gutierrez split decision. Mando did not look good in that one. I think Goto should have won that fight. Yeah. Go watch that fight back in deep and you'll see it too. It probably just came down to Mando laying on him for the last 2 minutes of the fight and doing no damage. And then the other guys he's lost to as well. Sudo's great. Ziev's great. Probably wants this one back, but hey, there's always one of those. I'm going with Torres in this one, man. I'm going with Torres in this one. Like I said, it's the wrestling factor. It's the pressure. Torres is hard to finish. Maybe Joji Goto knocks him out. Maybe Joji Goto drops him early, but I think that's just gonna, if that happens, then I think Shorty will just either really focus on getting in the clinch and boxing in the pocket because he's good at that, or he's just going to try to out wrestle him. Where are you seeing this one?
Yeah, if I'm rooting for Jose Torres because he's an American fighter. I always root for my American fighters, but I mean, Joji Goto is tough. He's Mr. Twister. He's got those back-to-back twisters, so he knows what he's doing on the ground. So if Torres' path to victory here is he's got to wrestle him and outpoint him, because like you said, Goto's got, he's never been knocked out. And Torres is not really known for having knockout power, right? So
by the way, those twisters against good opponents as well back in 2023, which is super cool.
Yeah. And since Torres doesn't have knockout power, I don't think he's going to knock him out. And since you're talking about the twisters from Goto, I don't think that Torres is going to want to take him to the ground and mess around with him on the ground. So I think that his path to victory is to wrestle and try to outpoint him for a decision. And, maybe, I don't know, maybe if he gets him down, he can throw some superior rule set and get less, grounded kick KO or something.
Grounded knees.
Yeah, or grounded knees, exactly. But he's got to be careful of those submissions, man. And Joji Goto is on a hot streak right now. I think
if Shinryu didn't submit Torres, I don't think Goto is going to submit him. That's
a good point. Great point. So, I mean, he's really only got to be careful of the striking then, I guess, because
damage on the feet could be the factor here, and if he gets dropped a couple times.
Joji Goto.
I just think overall Torres has fought better competition. He's dealt with guys who've had the tools that Goto has, and or better. So we'll see. Love to see him back though, because he's just such a positive fucking guy, and he just imagine if he had a little bit more power in his fists, man. Imagine
I know, right?
He hit like a 145 or at 125, like
and Goto's most recent knockout was sensational, bro. That was one of the best knockouts of the card last month.
I mean, Nakajima, pretty chinny, but
I mean, it looked brutal.
It was beautiful.
He was out cold, so
for sure. He retired him. Him.
So, I mean, Goto's coming in on a hot streak with momentum behind him. So, Torres is going to have to bring it. But Torres has been preparing for this. He was campaigning for a long time to get on this New Year's Eve card. So, he hasn't just been sitting on the couch. He's been training. So, I'm really excited for this one. I hope Torres can get it done.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And this one, the replacement fighter for Suguru Nii, who obviously is not fighting Juan Archuleta, is none other than the Prince of RIZIN, Kyoma Akimoto. Tee this one up again, because this was another one that was rejigged due to Archuleta having to pull out.
Yes, and, this one, I'm really hyped for this one because the RIZIN Prince Akimoto, he has a chance. If he wins this right here, I think he's the RIZIN Fighter of the Year 2025. Because I mean, this is what his fourth bout this year, third or fourth bout this year, and he's just looked fantastic this whole year. And he just coming off of a banger with Hagiwara, to where the rumor is he has like a broken nose here. So this is a high risk fight for him taking this. And Knee doesn't really have that as good a as good as striking. He's more of a grappler, right? So, but I mean, he still can strike a little bit. So Akimoto's got to really protect that nose if it is broken. And it just. But I'm really looking forward to this one, man. Like, I think Archuleta is gonna beat Knee, and now it's like this is also Akimoto stepping up a weight class here as well. So I mean, he's
been getting bigger and he's pretty tall. So like I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think if anything, like his weight cut's probably harder, because he is growing into his frame. Yeah.
I mean, he's still a young gun, right? But he's only 19. Exactly. He can't even drink alcohol yet, dude. He's a young gun and a good one at that. And they want him on the title path, and I believe this is another bout. Because he was supposed to face, I think they were trying to get him to face Dautbek for a title eliminator. And, Dautbek, with his nose apparently broken, or rumored to be broken or fractured, whatever, they didn't want to throw him in there with Dautbek. So that's why they're putting him in there with Knee to replace Archuleta. And then I'm guessing if he can pull off the win here, I'm guessing next year they're going to match him up with Dautbek in a title eliminator bout. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I heard as well. And he elected not to get surgery, is what Drew said on your guys' podcast. So it just takes a little longer for it to heal. I've never got surgery on my nose. I've broken it 3 times. That's why it's mangled, and I can say from experience, it freaking hurts. It's sore, and anything can kind of get it out of place and like reset it, and not in the proper way. Not in the proper way. So I'm kind of on the same page. It was, and we may never know the answer to this. It's either like they wanted to get this fight signed earlier for Dautbek, either on this card or the next one. And he just like, maybe he didn't know if he was going to get surgery yet. He didn't know his status yet. He was like, no, my nose is still mangled. I'm not going to fight Dautbek right now. And, or it was like you said, RIZIN recognized that and was a little bit like forthcoming and had some, I guess was just planning ahead of time, or like, okay, if you're ready to fight now, which clearly he is, maybe he's cleared to fight now and he wasn't a little while ago, or whatever. We'll give you Suguru Knee, who, like you said, is more of a grappler, can strike, and actually before he got knocked the fuck out in his last fight, he was looking really good, to the point where I was like, man, he's winning the fight. Until he got knocked out, he was winning the fight, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely still a threat for sure. But just something to note: Akimoto, his nose is compromised, whether that affects his cardio, his breathing, or maybe just like how he fights, because he's primarily a striker whose grappling is getting better and better. We obviously saw that like there's a lot more to learn, given that he just wasn't even close to on Motoya's level, and Motoya obviously being his own loss, Motoya fighting for the flyweight Grand Prix championship later on this card. But 5 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 3 decisions. Motoya didn't submit him though, then that's huge. 5-1 in RIZIN, 3-0 in Deep. Man, what a fun fight against Hagiwara. It kind of went exactly how we thought it would, and to be honest, the fact that in the first round he wasn't able to do what he did to Hagiwara in the second still shows that there's some reps that need to still be taken for it to be just second nature, the grappling stuff. And credit to Hagiwara, he did good in the first round, keeping it on the feet and imposing his will. Hagiwara's a striker and a striker only. I know he's got friggin' 19 MMA fights, but man still can't defend a takedown when he's tired. And credit to Akimoto, he busted up Hagiwara's nose pretty bad too, so that probably compromised him. Fun fight.
It was a banger. 100%.
Yeah, made easy work of Okada in his tune-up fight. Looked good against Tagaji, and what a way to kind of bounce back against Ryo, who was not necessarily an easy opponent. After Motoya, I thought he was.
Look at his RIZIN debut there. It says, see that type of finish that he got?
What's that?
Look at his RIZIN debut fight. See the type of finish that he got for that one?
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful. It was
a superior rule set grounded knee.
Grounded knee.
Knows the assignment. So,
no, and even in deep, he was throwing those same, kicks to the body, grounded kicks, grounded knees, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, he's definitely like a homegrown RIZIN prospect, one of the best in Japan right now. Tough as nails.
RIZIN Prince.
Yeah, tough as nails, can brawl, and I would say like more well-rounded than most. Dare I say, as well-rounded or more than Knee, given that Knee really has to rely on his grappling if the striker is better than him. And even then, sometimes guys you didn't think would out-grapple Knee end up, getting on his back and friggin' choking him out, rear naked choke anyways. 19-14 for my boy Suguru Knee. 3 KO TKOs, 11 submissions, 2 submission losses, and 5 decisions. Went on a run in Pancrase where he went 7-5, 4-3 in deep, 2-5 in RIZIN. Lost to Majima, which again I know Majima's good at grappling. Did not think that one was going to go down. Takeda. Oh, God damn. I just thought Takeda's just, I've never been high on Takeda. I thought you'd, okay, screw you. At least you can beat Takeda. You can't even beat Takeda at this point. Was impressed for the first 3 minutes of this fight until he got front kicked in the goddamn face by Nazimov. One of the most beautiful knockouts of the year. Oh, I will say though, one of the best finishes I've seen in RIZIN in a while was the finish that he had on his friend, where he landed that hook, broke his jaw, and then soccer kicked him, his high school buddy, on the same night as 2 friends in PFL refused to fight and literally just like hugged each other for 3 rounds, and each got suspended, fined, and one got kicked out of the league. So it just shows that like Superior Rule said Superior League.
That's right.
Love Suguru Knee. Would love nothing more than an upset. Like if Suguru Knee knocks out Akimoto, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to celebrate, pop champagne. It's going to be amazing. It's probably not going to happen. Akimoto's probably going to knock out Knee. Or could you imagine if he gets his back and submits him? That would be a statement and be like, regardless of Knee's record, if you can get on Knee's back and submit him, okay, you've taken that next step in grappling. But yeah, I'm going with Akimoto.
Absolutely, me too. And I'm looking for him to do it in sensational fashion to where and also Dautbek later on this fight, on this card, get the W in his fight as well, and then they match up next year sometime in 2026 in a title eliminator. Yeah.
And as Drew says here, Akimoto's fight IQ is incredibly high as well. And yeah, and again, no disrespect to the Japanese regional scene or their prospects, but it's very much, I'm going to brawl, try to get a finish, or, oh man, I'm tired in 2 minutes, so I'm just going to wrestle, and then that's it, right? Whereas Akimoto will come in with a game plan. If it doesn't work, he'll make adjustments. He won't panic. Like in the Motoya fight, he could have panicked and Motoya could have submitted him early. That fight went the distance because even in a losing effort, he made the proper adjustments to at least take himself to a decision where he had a chance, or extend the fight where he could have a chance to do something later in the round. So
he's got good fight IQ.
He's 19. He's 19. I see him probably being at this weight class in a couple of years anyways, given that like he's still growing. He probably still could grow like a couple inches in height, and he's definitely every fight I see him in, he looks bigger, right? So and I think the winner, or if and when he wins this one, like he's gonna get Dautbek if Dautbek wins, or another big name, someone that's gonna be his stepping stone to a title shot.
Yeah, he's definitely on the title shot trajectory, 100%. That's why I'm calling the RIZIN Prince, the Prince of RIZIN.
The Prince of RIZIN. And man, talking about Dautbek, what another guy who's like this promotion has been so lucky to reacquire. It has been unbelievable. he's rested a little bit now. 8 months ago was in an absolute war against Chihiro Suzuki. Narrowly won that fight. You could argue that Suzuki won that fight, and I did. I did a lot.
Thank you.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. I picked Dautbek to win, but I was way more impressed with Suzuki than I thought I'd be. Honestly, equally impressed with freaking Yaman, given that Yaman actually showed takedown defense and made that one a war as well. But that's just the thing, like, came off like a really probably a way tougher fight than he expected against Yaman to an absolute war against Suzuki. I mean, only 2 fights this year, but 2 grueling fights for Dautbek, and he's going to squeeze one more in against, talk about another layup, Yuta freaking Kubo. So, I mean, this, for me, Knee's a little bit of a harder opponent, I think, than Kubo, but this is basically like showcase fight Akimoto, showcase fight Dautbek. We'll get as many highlights from these fights as we can so that the next tail of the tape video and cold open for Dautbek and Akimoto is going to be fire. That's literally what these 2 matches are for, straight up to farm highlights, because Yuto Kubo is going to die in there. He's going to get killed. By the way,
what your commenter said.
By the way, I'll read his fucking comments after. We're doing a preview right now. Yuta Kubo, the smiling sniper, retired essentially almost a year ago to get into politics, and absolutely failed in politics worse than he failed in the Shaydullaev fight in front of his ex-wife, who was screaming at him like babushka who ran out of beats, bro. Like, it's crazy.
He's the only one that was able to get out of the first round, like the commenter was saying.
It's because the ref literally let his face get caved in like freaking mince meat, dude. Because they literally the referee had money on him or something. Like, it was absolutely insane. And for all, you know, I'm shitting on Kubo here. He's 38 years of age. He took so much damage in his last fight. He clearly wasn't focused on training this year. He's more of a popular figure these days than he is a professional fighter. And did he survive more than most, and even more than the Russian who Shaydullaev fought in his last fight? 100%. He's tough, and he always, despite being older, he was always known for being tough in kickboxing and even in his first few MMA fights. Certified Unk, 35 or 38 years of age. Don't think the year the Unk blessing is going to bless him here. 2 KO TKOs in mixed martial arts, 1 submission, 2 decision, 5-2 in RIZIN. And did he beat decent guys? Yeah, he beat Saito in 2024, although Saito is a shell of what he used to be. Beat Takahashi, who had a lot more experience than him. Split decision, but still. Anpo, obviously dangerous striker, was able to show that I know enough mixed martial arts to at least take you to the ground and get the rear naked choke. So pleasantly surprised with his MMA run upon coming into RIZIN. They threw him into the fire against Ota, who we all knew was going to out-wrestle him. So overall, as a kickboxing crossover late in his career, I think he's done better than most. He's going up against Dautbek, man. He's not going to have the performance Yaman is. And it's like Dautbek can either take him down or beat him up on the feet. The ref's going to get in there eventually around 1, 2, or 3. This ain't going the distance.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dautbek's going to beat him. And, you know, that's why I was talking about earlier for the Prince Akimoto fight, that I think they're going to match them up. And I'm pretty much picking Dautbek 100%. But I love how K1 WKQAE there said that, you know, pointed out how Kubo's the only person in RIZIN not to, you know, get steamrolled by the steamroller Shaydullaev.
If I was in Kubo's corner, I'd throw in the towel before the second round.
And also, I'm happy that they got Dautbek on this card as well.
Yeah, they had to. They had to, because Akimoto's on this card.
I know, right? It sets it
Dude,
up
the face-off, do you think there's going to be a face-off between them after this?
I don't know. You know, what if it's, since it's before the intermission, what if they do it during the intermission? That'd be
But you think
right?
Dautbek just goes, "Where's Akimoto?" Or maybe Akimoto goes, "I want you," and, you know.
Yeah, maybe they call each other out on the mic after the fight. You never know. we'll see.
Akimoto yaps, dude. Dautbek, he's more like respectful, but I could see Akimoto calling his shot.
That'd be cool. I would definitely like to see that. So we'll hope that happens.
We'll see if failed politicians the best base for me. Him surviving 2 rounds with Shad means nothing because he got his ass whipped for those 2 rounds.
Well,
he didn't get knocked out cold.
Exactly, yeah. So it shows he's tough. So we'll see if Dautbek's able to beat him within 2 rounds. We'll see. So, but I'm just happy. Like I said, I'm happy that Dautbek is on this card. Just another super exciting fighter. And props to Kubo for stepping up and taking this fight. And also, we might get to see on the walkout, too, his Japanese celebrity wife, that's a singer, might be doing the
ex-wife.
That's right. Yeah, ex-wife might be doing
who still just walks him out and is sitting there ringside.
Yeah. So
it's a dynamic I don't even want to dive into. The less I know, the happier I am.
Yeah.
Although she has huge tits, so no complaints on mine. Yeah. No complaints on mine. All right. Has no shame showing the world. Kind of like that BKFC chick. But anyways. Makoto Shinryu against Hiroya Kondo. Oh my god. Talk about another layup fight here. It blows my mind how popular this guy is. I guess though, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Lost against Yuki Motoya. I was actually a little critical of Motoya for not finishing him, but Motoya coming off a tough fight, coming off a weight cut, a further weight cut, right? Because he usually fights at 135, and Unk now going to 125 and looked small, which was kind of like concerning. I was like, oh man, you look smaller than these guys, and you fight usually at 135. Like, it was a little, not that like Motoya's jacked anyways, but like it was a little concerning, but got the job done, out grappled him everywhere. On the feet, Kondo got a couple in there, but honestly, Motoya probably didn't take him that seriously and was like, oh shit, okay, gotta employ the game plan, get this fight. Was surprised he didn't finish Kondo, but I think that's just the thing. I don't think he couldn't finish Kondo. I just think he didn't finish Kondo in that one. Okay, Kondo's one of those guys who good everywhere, not great anywhere. So if he fights a guy who's great in any one of those lanes and can exploit, Kondo being lesser than him in that area, whether it's the wrestling, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's the striking, like most guys do exploit that. I think Shinryu's even better on the feet. And like Shinryu's not known for his striking, very much known. I'd say his footwork is pretty funky and has come a long way, but like he's known for his grappling. But I think his striking has come a long way. He's 25 now. It's not really a prospect. He just like is a very good MMA fighter who is a grappler as his like main style. I think Shinryu probably submits Kondo or, beats him up for 3 rounds with a little mix of like outside jabs. And if Kondo does get back up to his feet, Shinryu will take him back down, ground and pound, jump on his back, backpack, back to the ground, ground and pound. Maybe Kondo gets back up to his feet. But Shinryu, 25-1 as a pro. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. 25 years of age. He's younger than Kondo. No knockouts, but he's never been KO TKO'd. He's been dropped a few times, but not like in a brutal fashion. 6 submissions, 14 decisions. Despite being a decision merchant, I would say like 90% of his fights are a lot of fun because his style's funky. He's the real funk master, unlike Aljamain Sterling. 6-4 in RIZIN. Obviously 1-1 in Bellator. It was just the Kyoji fights. But yeah, lost to Motoya. Beat Ersin Yamamoto. Ersin's not that great. Beat Yuki Ito. Good win, as Ito's shown he's more well-rounded than I gave him credit for. Lost a very close one to Torres. And by the way, he's insanely active. So he had a grappling match and friggin' 3 MMA fights in this year alone. So this will be his 4th MMA fight and 5th competition this year. I will say probably should have beaten Hayashi a little bit more dominantly, but it did seem like he was playing with his food a little bit towards the end of that fight. But look at the guys he's lost to. Horiguchi, Ougikubo, Torres, who's UFC level, and Motoya, who's one of the most underrated, Japanese MMA fighters of all time. So I think Makoto Shinryu is absolutely going to destroy Kondo. I think he's going to finish him. I know Motoya didn't, but I do think Shinryu is going to finish him. Or maybe Shinryu gets his first ground and pound finish. And if that's the case, again, line up the bottles of champagne. I'll crack another one and I'll down the whole thing because I cannot fucking stand Kondo, and I cannot wait for Shinryu to finish him.
I mean, I don't hate Kondo like you guys do. I like Hiroya. I think he's shown great growth in his mixed martial arts game. And what does Drew say there? Says he's popular because he's good looking. Hey, Drew, you might want to no homo posting.
Popular
Drew.
with the ladies. His merch sells a lot for Sakakibara and RIZIN. That's why he's still around. And honestly, that's probably true.
But
yes, and I forgot to mention. I mentioned that I wrote that in my notes too. Shinryu has been training at ATT for this camp. He's been there for I think 4 or 5 months now. Was swayed by Kyoji to come over and like look what ATT has done for Horiguchi in the last decade. Like, oh my God, is this going to be insane for his next wave of development between 25 and 30 years of age now?
Yeah, because they want Shinryu to be the next Horiguchi. They're like building him to become, the next Horiguchi type of a fighter.
Yeah, well, with Kai not there, he's him and Akimoto.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Those are the guys.
Yeah, they're building those. That's the future they're building for, and but still, again, Hiroya is not as bad as you guys. I mean, I really liked his growth that he showed in his recent fights, even though
he's only been knocked out once, only been submitted once. He just 12 decision losses,
and he's not a boring fighter either. That's the thing. Like if he was boring and getting all these fights, even though he's losing and stuff, I'd see where you guys are coming from. But like, it's just
the promotional favoritism. Like it's okay. All right, he beat an older guy. Let's keep the momentum going by giving him Shinosuke on his debut. It's just like, does that really help him other than making the fans think he's better than he is? And then all right, we got him Yuki in the first leg, and not even close to his level.
He didn't that bad against Motoya. He wasn't like destroyed by Motoya or anything. So I don't know. It just, I mean, he's winning. He puts on exciting fights. I don't know. I can forgive the favoritism against him a little bit because, he is a popular fighter. So that's, I mean, what he wants to do, just not give him fights, even though he's popular, just because, to keep some meritocracy going. Or whatever.
I just always root against him.
Well, you're gonna probably get your wish right here because Shinryu is the better fighter, and like we were saying, he wants to Sakakibara-san, the CEO of Epic Horizon and the RIZIN Brass, they want Shinryu to become like the next Horiguchi, and he's definitely on a title trajectory. So, and so far he's only lost to the top flight competition in RIZIN, and he's still young, so he's a young gun still. So it's the sky's the limit for him. But and like I was saying on the other shows too, even if Hiroya loses here, I don't want him cut. I don't want him cut until he used up all that popularity, because he still puts on some good, exciting fights. And that's what I expect here. I expect this one to be a banger. I don't expect Shinryu to just blow him out and just dominate him. I expect it to be he's going to showcase that his growth in MMA really good, and and if Shinryu can get him out, put him away, then so be it. But could you imagine
if Shinryu's first TKO? That would just be icing on the cake, because like Shinryu again, like fucking 26 pro fights, and he doesn't have a single knockout. If he even, and it would probably be from like mount or back mount or something. I got to know what the odds are on that back mount. Back mount TKO for Shinryu is probably like plus 8,000 or something. I'll take it because it's Kondo.
What
we're both going Shinryu. I mean, 97% of people. I mean, literally, the girls he's sleeping with right now.
Normally, I would disagree with the Tapology voting is a little bit biased, but I happen to agree with them on this one. I think Shinryu is just gonna, but I don't think it's gonna be it's not gonna be a steamrolling. So he's gonna really have to show what he's got to get Hiroya out of there.
If it is a steamrolling, I'm gonna put so many steamrolling gifs and pictures in the RIZIN chat, so be prepared.
Okay.
Like I'm going to like it's gonna be to the point where Drew's gonna have to time me out. Like it's gonna be that bad. So I'm just saying.
No more steamrolling gifs.
No, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be the point where everyone in the chat's like, "What the fuck is Isha doing?" And you're gonna have to explain to them and be like,
"Well, I use it because Jay Chris just came up with a new nickname for Shaydullaev. He's gonna call him the Steamroller Shaydullaev.
He's taking Matt Fravola's name. Oh,
yes.
Honestly,
because it fits with Shaydullaev. Because Shaydullaev is known for steamrolling.
Well, put it this way: there was someone who wore 99 before Gretzky, and then
Yeah, exactly. And how many pit bulls are there, right?
So yeah, but let's be honest. I still think the OG Pitbull is Arlovsky.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to be fighting some YouTuber's security guard for $1 million now? So you know what? Shout out to Arlovsky. Make your money, old man.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. This.
Oh yes.
We've been talking about steamrolling. I don't think there's going to be a steamroll in this one. This might be the most entertaining, but like / still high level fight on this card. Because now we're getting into the less fuckery, the more like very well matched and evenly matched fights of the card. If it isn't a steamroll, that makes Shinryu look bad. I know. Let's get to Tatsuya Ando, the man, the myth, the legend that nobody thought would do this good in RIZIN, but is absolutely dominating. Certified Unk, 35 years of age, up against Fukuda, who's been fucking damn good as of late as well. Only losing to the champion Inoue, and losing, handedly. Inoue handedly won that fight. Didn't finish him, but still. But when you're only losing to Inoue and you're taking out really good opponents on your way there and showing that like you're in your prime still, dude. Despite having over 30 fights, I've been still very impressed with the last 2 years of Fukuda's career. But let's start with Ando, man, because my God, and I will be the first one to say that I've counted this guy out. I've counted this guy out in his RIZIN fights, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, only losing recently in road to UFC. And again, just didn't get finished in that one. He's a freaking horse, man. He's a tank. He hits hard. He's tough as nails. Granite chin, it seems now anyways. Doesn't get phased with big shots. And actually has some pretty good wrestling. 7 KO TKOs, 6 submissions, 3 decisions, and was dominating Shuto before his call to road to UFC. Came in and beat Gazanzade as the pretty big underdog, and then came in and absolutely destroyed Ji Young Yang. And Ji Young Yang's a damn good fighter. I picked Gazanzade. I picked Ji Young Yang, and I made some pretty fucking good arguments as to why I thought both those guys were going to win. I was horribly wrong both of those times. How can I go against the literal king of fucking Shuto, man? How can I go against the freaking king of Shuto, who unfortunately just can't get it done? The first ever road to UFC back in 2015, he still couldn't get it done over there. But anyways, unbelievable. Now Fukuda, he's another guy where I'm like, God damn it, can't you just give Ando a guy that like, so I a guy who I can look at and be like, oh, I just know Ando's gonna beat him easy. Don't even have to like second guess it. This is honestly such a fun matchup, man. Coming off a loss for the title, 12 knockouts. He's only been knocked out once as well. So I imagine this one's going to stay on the feet unless Ando is probably the one who might elect to take this one to the ground. 1 submission, 12 decisions. Most of his losses have come via decision. 3-1 in RIZIN, 11-3-1 in Shuto. Talk about another guy who's developed and dominated Shuto as well. 9-2 in deep, though. And if you look at his resume, man, only losing to champions, Taira, and like high-level champions, Taira and Shuto, okay? Then goes on a crazy run here, loses in Neza to Yurin Gaipov, the guy who should be fighting Mokaib, but Mokaib's too scared to fight right now and brave, and he beat Shorty Torres as well. So it was a Neza champ. And then fought for the RIZIN belt and lost to Inoue. So like, yeah, can't beat the freaking champion in Neza. Friggin' RIZIN's champion in Inoue, and possibly the freaking UFC champion, and the former let's just say Taira in the former Shuto champion, and Shinryu, who became the Deep champion. I know this wasn't for a title, so like only losing to regional and high level regional champions, still has a lot of gas left in the tank, in my opinion. But I can't pick against Ando. I can't do it. So like, I don't know how this fight's gonna go. It's gonna be a brawl. Either it goes the distance and it's like one of those just absolute bangers. We see both guys mixing it up a little bit, but they're doing damage in every position, whether it does go to the ground or there are sequences in the clinch. I can't pick against Ando again, so we're going with Ando.
Nice. And did you see the RIZIN Confessions series on this match right here?
Yes.
The RIZIN Confessions series is their YouTube. It's on RIZIN's YouTube channel. It's like they're behind the scenes.
It's like they're embedded, but it's way better.
Yeah. And
they have subtitles now, which is nice.
Exactly. Yes. And these guys were featured on RIZIN Confessions episode 200. And they were talking about how this is like a matchup between a carnivorous monkey or carnivorous ape versus a jungle snake or something like that. And they even got some fans. So
they're going full Black Combat with the nicknames here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to bring up. I knew you'd appreciate it the most. And then also on the fan made some art for this pro. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet here. Check it out.
I'll bring it up. Yeah.
Check it out here. I'll put it in the thing so you see that. It's pretty cool. Huh?
RIZIN shared it. I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
As well, but
okay. Yeah, it's on a RIZIN tweet right there. So this is, I mean, and it looks from your comments, it looks like the fans they know about this one as well. So this is a really good one, and I think I saw one of your commenters say that RIZIN Ando is a new mythical fighter because he's on such a crazy run right now against top flight competition. So this is it is hard to pick against him. But also on that Confession series for Fukuda, in one of his recent deep fights, I don't know if it was recent or not, but the highlight that they showed on the Confession series was Fukuda stomping somebody in deep. So I don't know if it was Ushikubo or what. I think it might be Ushikubo.
I think it was Ushikubo, who's a former champ.
Okay, so he stomped him. So he knows the assignment. So that could be an X factor in this one. So I'm going to go with you. I'm going to pick Ando as well. I'm going to go with, I agree with all you guys' comments saying that, RIZIN Ando is a new mythical fighter. And just, man, I'm really looking forward to this one. I agree with all the comments saying that the matchmakers hit the bullseye on this one. And
could be fight of the night.
Of course, this is a banger.
Could be fight of the night.
Could be. Very well could be. It's probably, I bet you the odds are going to be a pick 'em on this one too. Especially the odds.
Yeah, you want to know where the fans are sitting on this one though?
What?
77% for Kudo. Everyone's counting Ando out again. As soon as I saw that, Ando's winning.
How could they count him out like that? Not even give him a 25% chance to win?
Insane.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. Insane.
I mean,
all right.
From his most recent run, you'd think that would at least give him 60-40 or 70-30 for goodness sake. My goodness.
All right, moving up the card. And by the way, big shout out to everyone in the live chat here. We have the return of Saito. Yutaka Saito against Yaman.
Yes.
What a 2 years for Yaman. And RIZIN capitalizing on every second of him and his, I don't even know if they're dating at this point, him and the freaking barista. Who probably she didn't think that she was going to get this famous. But anyway, and especially from a fight promotion. But anyways, Japan never change. Yaman 2-2 in mixed martial arts. The kickboxing crossover has impressed me, to be perfectly honest. Has impressed me now. He's been taking kickboxing. He says, "Oh, I'm retired from kickboxing," and then like goes and fights kickboxing and gets brutally knocked out. But anyways, yeah, he should have never taken that fight against Trinidad, but came back. And honestly, I was so worried for him after that Trinidad fight. I was like, man, after that war against Dautbek, he's going to Rise El Dorado, and he's fighting freaking Miguel Trinidad, and Trinidad absolutely destroyed him in the third round. Came back. It was only a few months after, and fought Kanehara. And Kanehara is good, right? Kanehara is good. I was insanely impressed with his performance. Was able to get back up to his feet. Was able to defend takedowns and outstruck Kanehara and finished him in the third round. I thought he looked really good against Suzuki. I thought he looked amazing against Dautbek despite losing.
Yes. To me, that was almost more impressive.
Yeah.
Than the win. I mean, the winning against Kanehara was impressive, but not losing to Dautbek, but not getting finished and looking as good as he did versus
was able to defend takedowns, wear Dautbek down enough where he couldn't even employ his grappling game. And his first MMA fight was against Ren, and Ren just like had a little bit more grappling, and you just saw how green Yaman was in that. You could definitely see that for Dautbek, like he practiced and it worked. So I was impressed. Yaman, fun walkouts, character. He'll cry, win, lose, or draw, and he'll put on friggin' savage fights, win, lose, or draw anyways. So excited to see him back. And he'll probably have some, unless him and the barista are dating, then maybe he's not going to have a bunch of showgirls walk out with him. But if they're not dating yet, I'm sure he'll put on a show for New Year's. Now, Saito hasn't fought in over a year. Kubo knocked him, or it was a body kick. That's right. Just absolutely. It was brutal. Before then, he was choked out by Kleber. Beat Ren Hiromasa split decision, but I remember watching that fight and thinking, and that was almost 3 years ago, thinking like, man, you should be finishing Ren, not going to a split decision with him, because Ren was still pretty green when it came to mixed martial arts. Lost to Ougikubo 3 years ago, and that's when Ougikubo started, to kind of decline as well. And I guess 4 years ago, there was no shame in losing to Mikuru. But what I'm trying to say here is like Saito just hasn't been the same, man. 38 years of age now. Certified Anku just like didn't look that in shape the last time he was in the cage. 21-9-2, respectable career given that he's almost 40. 5 knockouts. Has only been knocked out twice and has only been submitted once. But the decision losses are starting to pile up. He does have 14 wins via decision respectively. 17-3-2 in Shuto will go down as one of their best guys. 4-5 in RIZIN. And I just don't think he's got it anymore. And I think that if Yaman can defend takedowns against Dautbek, and if Yaman can at least keep fights on the feet against guys his level at this point, I don't think he's going to struggle with Saito. And I think if this stays on the feet, Yaman probably, if not finishes him, beats him up pretty bad. So yeah, I'm going with Yaman in this. I'm going with Yaman. 1 win in the last 6 years for Saito, and his win against Ren, he kind of just wrestle fucked his way to victory too.
But the guy is a former champion, so he knows how to fight, and some insider baseball with them.
Didn't Saito have a restaurant?
Yes, he has a ramen restaurant and some inside baseball. The rumor is that he's recently, from people that have in Japan, have told us that he hasn't been at his ramen shop, so he's been training very hard for this bout. So Yaman better bring it, man. He better not take this guy lightly and think that he's just gonna steamroll just because he's done.
Yaman should walk out with like a bowl of his ramen, take fucking just spit it out, be like, and then just like fuck his ramen joint or whatever.
That'd be awesome, dude. No, I'm glad he brought up Yaman's walkouts as well, because to me he puts on the best walkouts. His, like you said, he's got the Vegas showgirls, got his own music and stuff. And
I don't think he has for the last like 2 though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well,
because he's been trying to impress that honey.
Attitude walkouts the last couple shows for some reason. It was just earlier this year was Otoko Matsuri was the massive opening ceremony, and then there wasn't any elaborate walkouts. So it was like, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're like too expensive or whatever, but
I think he's like trying to friggin' date this girl who's got eyes bigger than balloons.
Chris says he thinks that Sato might retire. So Yaman might retire him here if he knocks him out.
I thought Sato was retired.
He's a successful ramen restaurant, so he says, forget getting punched in the face for a living. I'm just going to sell ramen.
Do we know what's his restaurant? Can someone in the chat let us know?
Yeah, I forget what it was called. They told us last night on the Focus Fights one.
I'll look it up.
Gosh, I can't remember what it is right now. Darn it! But
anything else?
Baseball was saying that he hasn't been at that restaurant for like over a month. So he's been training for this. So Yaman, I don't think Saito wants to get retired in this bout. So Yaman, he better be ready, and I think he will be, because that, like you were saying, is that his most recent fights have been very impressive. Even the loss to Dautbek was impressive, and that Kanehara victory was super impressive. He really dug down deep to get that win over a really good Kanehara is really good still. So that was, I mean, I love Yaman. He's one of my favorite kick crossovers and one of my favorite fighters. Period. He's just all action fighter. So I'm hoping he gets it done here. I'm hoping he doesn't take Saito lightly, because Saito has apparently really been training and taking it seriously. It doesn't seem like he wants to get retired in this bout, but I'm hoping that Yaman does retire him, and he gets an elaborate walkout as well.
Dude, that's a great point. Mohammed saying if Yaman doesn't bring out the burlesque dancers, Tatsuki Shimotsuka might have the best walkout. Yeah. and he's fighting early, and he's fighting early on the card, so maybe he'll set the bar high.
Yeah, I hope they do, because I love the pageantry of the walkouts, and I've been bummed about how they haven't been doing them recently.
They better play the Pride FC theme song to start this New Year's.
I know, just a little nostalgia to kick us off, right?
They did it, I want to say 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, they did it at Toko Matsuri, remember?
Okay. Well, then maybe they won't.
They had it, and then they transitioned into the RIZIN theme,
oh,
right?
Okay. Because the RIZIN theme is fine, but like it doesn't get you pumped, man. Like even the Dream theme was better than RIZIN's. But
I disagree. I think I like the RIZIN theme better than Dreams.
Dreams sounds more like Pride's though, because it has the drums. The boom, 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 boom.
RIZIN's got the drums too. It's more of like a like a drumline drum though, instead of like the big percussion drum.
For me, Dream is like has the best of both. Like Dreams is like, you could make an argument if there wasn't that, that lore of what Pride brought. Like as far as the song, I have them on a playlist. I listen to them all the time, and I have this debate with myself all the time. But like I always end up just going back to Pride. But I mean, you guys know I listen to the Pride FC theme song twice in a row to start my workouts. There's two versions. I have the original, and then there's a Symphony in New York that did a cover of it, and so I listened to that one. Those are the two songs I just start my workout.
Nice. I bet that gets you hyped. Hit those sets,
dude. I just want to spin kick toddlers and eat glass, as the great Napoleon Bonaparte says. All right, let's move to this next fight, which again on any other card would probably be the headliner, or at least in like the co-main or featured spot.
Dude, exactly. You're 100% correct, Aisha. On any other card, even a numbered event, this would be a co-headliner at least on a numbered event, and a headliner on a landmark event. 100%. This is an absolute banger right here.
And this is another one where it's like, you can make an argument for both these guys. This is going to be a competitive one, because you have Kleber, who's Unk status, getting older, looking human. Right, because there was a stretch where it was like, I don't care who his opponent is, he's going to win. Right, it just seemed like he was invincible, and it was like on the feet he'd get tagged a couple times, that he'd just like Imanari roll or get in the clinch, take you to the ground, and was just like, and then find the submission. It's over.
Rabbit out of his hat submission.
Dude, he's got that like Oliveira aura around him as far as how dangerous of a finisher he is. When you go on, when he's on the ground with you, he does things that the most accomplished grapplers and jiu-jitsu guys just don't see coming. He's funky on the feet too. I'll never say he's a good striker, but I'll never say he can hang in the sense where he can like match the striking battle, but he can hang in the sense where his footwork's good enough, and like he's been doing this so long that like he knows for the most part where strikes are coming from, to get out of the way and find his entries into the clinch or takedown. He doesn't Imanari roll as much as probably people think he does, but he is on a 2-fight losing streak, and we don't see that often. We don't see that often from Kleber. 3-2 in his last 5 fights, 30 submissions, only 2 KO TKOs, and 3 decisions. Not in his prime anymore, and you can even just see it from like his physicality. He looks a little bit more like an Unk, and he got his first ever knockout though by Shaydullaev. I'll say, if you're gonna get your first ever knockout, like no shame in that. I don't think like he's broken. I will say though, like this was not his best performance. The fact that like he just couldn't find any dominance on any sustained control time on the ground against Mikuru, where he was so dominant in their first meeting, was a little concerning. Now it was still a split decision. You could still make an argument that maybe he won that fight. It could have been worse. He could have been knocked out again, and like here we go. Are we entering Tony Ferguson time or BJ Penn time? But no,
but it's more of a credit to Mikuru and his growth as a fighter. I think
a little bit, but I think Mikuru's well out of his prime too. I just think it was that one fight after being shell shocked from Shaydullaev, and he looked okay in that one, enough to get a split decision against Mikuru, Mikuru's good. I don't think Mikuru's ever great, but Mikuru's good and still is good. So like it's not the worst. No easy matchups in RIZIN, man. Like no easy matchups for RIZIN unless you're freaking Kondo, because they give him Vugar Karamov, who's 21-6, 3-2 in his last 5. And honestly, I think Vugar wants to get back to more of like known as a dominant guy who looked, unbreakable, just like Kleber. Because there was a little while where I was kind of the same thing. I was like, there's not many guys who beat Karamov in RIZIN right now. He's one of those guys who maybe could take that step to the UFC until he lost his title and started to run around like a hooligan, and then, get absolutely destroyed by Satoshi. But yeah, lost his title to a friggin' up knee by Chihiro in Azerbaijan, which was just such a crazy moment. Came back strong and beat Majima. That was a year later, but hey, beat Majima. Majima's still good. Got the title against Satoshi. I mean, Satoshi beat him easy peasy, which like Satoshi just on like I always thought that Kleber was always a little bit, I don't even want to say just better because Satoshi's more well-rounded, but just like more of the star, more dangerous, more unbeatable. Dude, Satoshi's on another level, and they're pretty much the same age, right? I think Satoshi's like a year younger. And then looked good against Shuya Kimura, who was coming in from Gladiator, and still green, still a prospect, but I think deserved to fight a bigger name, a guy with a lot of experience. And I'll give props to Kimura. He wasn't finished, but Vugar did what Vugar had to do. And he still showed that there's levels to this and that he was the better out of the two. He's primarily a grappler. His striking's good, nothing special, but good. He can hang with strikers. Kind of, different than Kleber, who can work his way around their striking, like I said, to find his entries. Man, like I was torn on this one for so long. And to a degree, I still am, because I think Karamov is still more in his prime. But I'm going with Kleber. If Kleber, if he gets finished or looks like he did against Mikuru in this one, just can't find that like extra gear where he's looks more dangerous against guys versus just chasing, for lack of a better term, then I'm going to be a little less bullish picking him. But I'm going with him kind of one last time with confidence that I don't think he's going to get outstruck by Karamov, because I don't think he's going to hang with him long there. And though I do think Karamov's going to be able to scramble out of positions, Karamov's more of a smothering wrestler than he is a jiu-jitsu guy. And I think Kleber, he's just so fucking slick still on the ground. And I think he gets this one.
Nice. Cash it. I was a big Kleber as well. I mean, it's really a pick 'em fight, bro. This could go either way, and just, man, it's such a great matchup. This is what I think is going to be the grappler's delight of the night, and it's just this, like we were saying in the intro, this could be at least a co-headliner on any numbered event, and a headliner on any like landmark cage event. I mean, it's that good of a bout. Two former champions. Two guys that know how to grapple, and Kleber though is just, I think he's on next level of grappling. I don't think he's done completely yet, so I'm gonna pick him. Losing to Shaydullaev, no shame in that. Shaydullaev steamrolls everyone. Probably one of the best fighters outside, if not the best fighter outside the UFC, especially for the lighter weight divisions. And Kleber, and then that shit lost to Mikuru, like you're saying, that could be a little being shell shocked after that loss to Shaydullaev.
First ever KO.
Yeah, exactly.
And he fought guys, and he fought roided up monsters in KSW, and still was never knocked out.
And you know, but still, Mikuru is. I think he has grown as a fighter in mixed martial arts, so I'm not going to hold that against him either. I was really happy that Mikuru got that win over him because that's what got him in a title fight on this card against Shaydullaev. You're rolling your eyes, but it's true, dude. Getting a win over Kleber.
I know it got him there. But
and if Vugar can win here against Kleber, I think they're going to give Vugar a title shot, or at least put him in a title eliminator next. So,
I'm happy Shaydullaev is getting paid for that fight. I think it's a waste of a pecking order fight, but we'll get into that.
You know, I believe they gave it to him because they just re-signed him for multiple fights. I think the plan was.
Dude, he's making so much money fighting Mikuru. Again, I don't fault him. Yeah, I don't fault him for that. It's just like, okay, get through the fucking RIZIN stars so we can get to more killers because he just re-signed here and didn't sign with the UFC.
That's what we want. We asked that he not be poached, and we got what we wanted. I'm so happy they drew a line in the sand and did not allow Shaydullaev to get poached. So I believe that the
money talks, baby.
Kleber.
Money talks.
That's right. And RIZIN is now the only viable pay-per-view company left. I mean, so they can offer competitive purses to these guys. So I'm hoping.
Wait, what are you talking about? One Championship makes so much money off their pay-per-views and doesn't scam their fans. Bro, fuck that shit. I was on Unex. I paid $5 or whatever it was, half dead Frank, $5 or $7 on Unex. I'm never giving one championship more than that much. I'm never giving one championship my money again, dude. Fuck that shit.
No, but RIZIN, dude, they're doing.
I'd rather give Glory my money over one championship, and Glory's literally gonna sue me.
After what they did to you, no way.
That's what I'm saying. I would still rather give Glory my money.
No, how can you do it? The one championship, for as much shit as we give them, we still got to give them credit for getting grounded knees legalized in America. 2 states so far. Hopefully going for a third here next year, but
only to never come back to the United States.
But still, getting it legalized in America, that's a big deal. Big first step by one championship.
If only someone would use the rules. But.
Hey, you preach to the choir on that one.
Come on, Scott Coker. Come on, Scott Coker. Come out of the fucking the shadows and bring some superior rules up.
No, but hey, real quick, you know, on that one more thing about that Kleber Vugar match. I mean, it's absolute banger, and I think the winner is going to get a title shot, be it Kleber or Vugar. But I think Vugar is the one that's going in there with more to win it because you know. Kleber is basically, he's fighting also for a title shot, but he's also fighting to show that he's not washed, right? And Vugar is the one that's fighting to say, oh, I want my title shot next. I'm looking to take the next step up. So it's a banger, bro. I'm stoked that. And that's, dude, it's not even one of the main title fights, bro. It's like 4, 5, 6 fights down on the card. And it's at least a co-main, if not main event worthy fight, you know what I mean? It just shows you how stacked this card is. So just can't rave enough about it. So anyways, I just love that bout. It's my grappler's delight, one of my favorite bouts in the card. So
from one grappler's delight to potentially another here in Ougikubo and Motoya facing off for the flyweight Grand Prix title, but also the friggin' flyweight title, which is on the line as well. So basically, like, you kind of get the double belt. You get the Grand Prix belt and you get the flyweight belt.
No, because Kyoji vacated to go to the UFC,
and so they put the lightweight belt on the line at the end of the Grand Prix. So double gold is on the line here. Walk away with 2 medals / belts or nothing. And I am so fucking stoked for this one because I love how it's both unks who tore through all the young guns to get here. Some pass easier than others, but still, the fact that Ougikubo is still at such a high level at this point in his career is insane. It's absolutely insane. He fights with the same pace. He doesn't slow down. He does the same goddamn thing every time. Like, he is the Murab of Japan. Like, does he get as many takedown attempts? per round as Merab? No, but like you guys know what I mean. He's the pressure smothering Japanese MMA fighter with just kind of a shit-eating grin on his face the whole time. Like, oh, I'm
and he's got to win against the UFC champion right now.
Yes. I mean, it was a long time ago, but he did beat Pantoja in the Ultimate Fighter Flyweight Championship season, which so many great fighters. That was just a freaking pressure cooker. Tim Elliott was there. Moreno was there. Ougikubo was there. Pantoja was there. Like, there were so many future major organization champions coming out of that season, as it was the regional champion season, right? Everybody who competed was a regional champion. 29-8-2 for Ougikubo. 1 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 22 decisions, man. 11-4 in RIZIN, 0-1 in Bellator, and he's on a 4-fight win streak right now, beating Gazimatov, the guy who everyone thought was gonna beat Ougikubo, beating Shorty Torres, the guy who everyone was like, oh, if there's anybody that's going to be a UFC caliber guy, it's going to be Shorty Torres. Beating Makoto Shinryu, who used to, be the young guy in his gym, who talked a little smack. I ain't cleaning your toilets anymore, Ougikubo. He shuts up Shinryu. And John Dodson coming in with actually some helium, was able to put him on his ass and out-grapple him, like many have been able to do against Dodson throughout his career. He did lose to Juan Archuleta, which was a huge, huge win for Archuleta, who out-grappled, out-wrestled. I think this is one of Juan Archuleta's best MMA performances, and this is a guy who beat Patchy Mix. Well, the ghost of Patchy Mix, I guess. I don't know what the fuck happened to Patchy Mix, but anyways, he beat the Patchy Mix that was actually good.
And I like what one of your commenters said about this fight, called the Super Unk title.
The Super Unk title, absolutely. What's up, Blom Dog? Lost to Horiguchi.
Sorry, go ahead.
Lost to Horiguchi, no shame in that. Lost to Sucho Kim, Road FC, former Road FC champ, no shame in that. Sucho Kim is past his prime now, unfortunately. He's taken... The CTE is strong with this one, unfortunately, but like Sucho Kim is one of my favorite fighters out of Korea. And man, yeah. So even though he's on a 3-fight losing streak, there was no shame in losing to any of these guys. And look, he pops right back with a 4-fight win streak, and now he is up for the title again and the Grand Prix winner. He has wins over Kai Asakura. He's got a split decision win over Motoya early in RIZIN. And I went back and watched that fight yesterday. What a fight. Like, there were even some striking exchanges, but both, you could tell that, like, it's crazy because even in 2019, neither of them were like prospects. They were still very seasoned fighters well into their careers. So like, it was such a good fight that I think them still being at the top of their game, it should be a lot like that one. Yuki Motoya, I would give the slight striking edge to him only because he does a little bit more. Like, Ougikubo's striking's not bad. It's just very one-dimensionally hard to hit and just very simple strikes, whereas Motoya tries to get a little fancy, and I think him getting a little too fancy is what cost him in the fight against, someone like Morales, who came in, Vince Morales, and had a really fun fight against Motoya, but basically just beat him by keeping the fight on the feet, simple sprawls, and just boxing. Motoya tried to get a little too fancy with his footwork there, and I think left his grappling attacks and takedowns and just game plan for too late in the fight. 39-14 as a pro. If he win, imagine winning the flyweight Grand Prix and title in your 40th win. 36 years of age, also training out of American Top Team, and he's been there for a little while now. 8 KO TKOs, 14 submissions, 17 decisions. So well-rounded, but mostly a decision guy and mostly a grappler. He has been cutting more weight recently. He usually is a 135er, but he doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Wolf and chat, but like, he hasn't looked like the biggest flyweight. Like, if anything, he's kind of looked small in there. So I don't know if that's just because his weight cuts have gone really bad, or if, I don't know, he's just going up against bigger flyweights in this tournament, but I digress. 14-9 in RIZIN.
I thought he looked good.
Okay. 25-14 in deep. And what a win against Shinryu in his last fight. I mean, we all knew he was going to be Kondo, but like, what a statement. And it wasn't, you couldn't even argue that Shinryu won that fight. Like, Shinryu it wasn't a bad performance. It was a good fight against two top level guys, but like, Motoya won that fight clear as day.
And that was when we were worried about the weight cut in that one because, the first one, the first leg of the Grand Prix, he got Hiroya, and that was, everyone's like, oh, that's kind of a layup, get him used to the weight cut. And then the Shinryu one for the semifinal, that was the one where like everyone's like, okay, can you really make this weight? Is it going to affect him? How's it going to affect his performance to cut that much?
He looks so good. He looks so good.
He looked great at flyweight. So I'm hoping he can get it done. But you finish up real quick, and then I'll.
Dude, lost a very close decision to Inoue, and honestly, like based on how that fifth or the third round went, I always say fifth round. Based on how that third round went, you could argue that he did win that fight because the first round Inoue, second round close, third round Motoya, right, almost finishing him, getting him on his back, the rear naked choke. So we all thought that he was going to be down and out against Inoue. Dude, he looked better than I ever thought he would in that one. Showed Akimoto that you still have a lot to learn, young one. Absolutely destroyed the wrestler in Ota. Sho Hiromasa, there was some helium around him, but he took him out really quickly. And again, that was coming off of that loss to Vince Morales. And other than Inoue, Vince Morales, and Kai Asakura, he hasn't lost to anybody of note recently, man. Is he the unk to avenge his loss and stop the Maraba Japan? I'm going to say, with the freaking run that he's been on thus far, I'm going, it's his fucking night. It's like what a year it has been for Yuki Motoya, man. Again, like imagine if he would have beat Inoue too. Like that would have been so much more badass. But like it was a great performance nonetheless. So so beats Akimoto, beating up the top prospect, fights her title, almost beats Inoue, blows back Kondo, and then beats one of their top guys in Shinryu. Like what a year it's been for Motoya, who after losing to Morales was kind of a nothing burger. Only 21% are picking him on Tapology, and I imagine he's going to be a huge underdog, but this is going the distance because it's Ougikubo fight. Yeah. And it's a Motoya fight too. I think Motoya does more damage. I don't think Ougikubo is going to be able to flatten him like he flattens other guys. And I think where Shorty Torres wasn't able to do enough damage, where Shinryu wasn't able to do enough damage, I think Motoya can. I don't think he's going to look like John Dodson in there.
I certainly hope you're right, and it's very surprising to see those, the Tapology odds because, like the commenter was just saying, the first fight was great, and it was a split decision between them. So I mean, even for just going off the first fight, it wasn't a blowout. So I don't understand why the odds.
And they were
like
both
that.
like, it was 2019, so like they were both in their Ougikubo, early 30s, Motoya late 20s.
Yeah, so I mean, but the point is that it wasn't a blowout, so the odds on Tapology should not be as lopsided as they are. So I mean, because at least one of the judges gave it to Motoya in that fight, right, to make it a split decision. So it's not like it was a blowout loss or anything. So it's not like Ougikubo was smothered him for 3 rounds.
Well, and I like Motoya's like flowy style. He's very smooth in the way he moves and in the way he attacks or gets out of submissions or grappling exchanges.
And I wanted to dump on this fight in revenge for how everybody was dumping on the heavyweight Grand Prix. And but did you guys see Andrew from We Are Rising podcast, his interview with RIZIN matchmaker Shingo Kazawagi and RIZIN.tv's guy Hafid.
Go check it out if not.
Yeah, check it out on the We Are Rising podcast channel. They're really high on this bout right here, especially the RIZIN matchmaker Shingo Kazawagi. I think he's number 2 or number 3 in RIZIN. And like for as RIZIN brass goes, it goes Sakakibara-san, and then I don't know who's number 2 or number 3, but Shingo's up there. And he's really talking up this fight, really looking forward to it. And just, the way he talks about it, and it's popular in Japan as well. So it's hard to dump on. The only thing I can say critical of it is that since it's a Grand Prix, it's not a one-night Grand Prix final like the traditional Pride style, where they have them fight more than once in the same night. So, and for a weight class where it should be mandatory for that to be, the traditional one-night Grand Prix final Pride style, because flyweights have endless gas tanks. So, but I'm.
And that's why K1's always going to be better than freaking RIZIN.
Dude, that's right. So King K1 has. That's why I preface them with King, because they're the king. They got the best format. They have the superior format, and they always will, as long as they keep that real deal.
As long as we can fucking watch them,
we can now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. As long as we can watch them, I'm gonna be there every single time.
Absolutely, bro. They remedied that. Now we can watch them every time.
For now, bro. Knock on every fucking wood in your surrounding area, because they always remedy it and then they fuck it up.
But as of right now, we can watch them in America and give them our money finally, like we want to do, to watch them. So, and they have the superior form, the real deal Holyfield 8-man one-night Grand Prix. So, it just, and of course Drew's talking shit here, saying they don't have ticket sales yet. We'll see.
Well, and you know what else? They don't have the superior. There's the Knockout Kickboxing organization. Yeah. They have superior rule set kickboxing.
Yeah, the Knockout Unlimited. Yes,
dude, that shit is wild. That shit's crazy.
Imagine if they do a knockout. They did a little Grand Prix, but imagine if they do like a real deal Holyfield King K1 style 8-man one-night Grand Prix under Knockout Unlimited.
This is Knockout Star right now. Like, they are going to the moon. Like, look at this guy.
Yes. And speaking of the King K1 superior rules, superior format, I'm hoping Black Combat's the Combat Cup they're gonna do with the American team and the Japanese team and all that stuff that they're building towards next year is going to be a real deal Holyfield. I
better not know any of these Americans, or it's not going to have its like quirkiness. And it was like the most random ass American regional fighters, like, oh fuck yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I hope that they next year is rumored they're going to bring back Grand Prix in RIZIN, in the Epic RIZIN. Rumored to be a lightweight Grand Prix next year. I just hope they bring back the traditional one-night Grand Prix final Pride style for that, because it should have been that for this flyweight Grand Prix. And for my pick, I'm hoping that you're correct. That's going to be Motoya, but I'm going to pick Ougikubo to get it done. So, but I want Motoya to get it done.
The safe pick.
Yeah. I mean, the history shows, and he just,
everybody picked Merab against Jan. So, we all thought he was going to get it done again. It's hard to pick against him. I get it.
Yep. So that's.
But Motoya's my fucking guy, dude, and everyone's picking against him. So I'm going against the grain.
No, I hope you're right. I want Motoya to win, because
I think that would be one of the most underrated like stories in MMA, in like recent MMA history. Like, if you look at what this guy did in a year, takes out prospect, and we can't call Shinryu prospect anymore, but like young star, and like almost beats Ito, and then wins. Like, and then conquers Ougikubo. Like, it would just be horrifying. It would just be crazy.
That would be that would put him in running to be fighter of the year, right? With Akimoto. And I bet you know what? Whoever wins, if Motoya wins, maybe he takes that fighter of the year title from Akimoto. Because I
100% think he does. 100%.
Nice.
Like, I'm making him my fighter of the year in all of MMA, not just RIZIN. Like,
nice.
Dude, no, seriously, like, fuck off, Joshua Van. So you pushed fucking Pantoja to the ground and his elbow fucking popped? Like, fuck off. That just... It's not even close, if you ask me. It's not even close. So, yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And I'm going to fucking spit on the doormat of the freaking new MMA hour, because they're not even going to talk about him once. But anyway.
I know. Oh, do you see you favorited the tweet? I did a reply to you about, because you were giving the MMA media shit. And I was like, dude, where do you see
playing with dolls
coverage?
They're playing with dolls. I'm like, yo, two of the best fights that have ever happened in Peruvian MMA history went down on Wednesday, Thursday, and you're playing with dolls.
I know. Dude,
what are you doing?
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And then, dude, that's why I was saying they should just be called the UFC Shield Media, because that's all they cover. They only cover the UFC. So
and and influencer shit.
And the influencer misfits,
because that's what gets you the clicks, man. I see other like MMA channels who do really good videos and stuff, but like don't really do many live streams, who like got like 400,000 views from the Andrew Tate stuff. I'm like, dude, I paid $30 and watched amateur American kick or Muay Thai instead of that shit. I lost money watching that shit, but I wanted to support, the New York Muay Thai scene. And why would I waste my time watching these farce of fights if they're not fights?
I know, and those were so bad too. I'm so mad that those fights got so many views, bro. The Andrew Tate one and the Jake Paul Joshua box circus bout. I mean, dude, that was just. I
didn't watch it, and I'm glad, and I won't. Like, why would I waste my time when I can watch real fights? I didn't support. I watched literally what I said was like, I cannot believe there's all these fake fight fans out there who refuse to support domestic Muay Thai and help grow the sport here, and you complain about shitty fights, and then you go and watch a shitty fight. It's like there was actually some fun fights on that Warriors Cup card in Brooklyn. So.
I know. I saw your highlights feed of it or commentary of it.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
The best fight of the year did happen in Cage Free FC, but we'll get to that on another show. The award show.
No, it wasn't the best fight. It was the best meme fight.
Yeah, dude, that was some Chris Brown, man. What a
his pockets comes out with pockets in his shorts. Has to have a tape shut.
I didn't think he could recover after the Rihanna incident, but here he is, anyways. Oh, wrong Chris Brown. All right, let's get to we have 4 more title fights. Let's try to get them done in less than half an hour.
Oh, we will. We totally will. But this one is, I'm really stoked for this.
We have a title fight. And we have
is this the Naoki. First one of them?
Naoki
the flyweight counts as the first one.
Yeah.
Because Horiguchi vacated, so the flyweight Grand Prix is also the inaugural. It's like you're saying, it's a double title fight. So this is the second one. We got
Inoue versus Danny Sabatello, the Italian gangster. Yes. He looks pretty good coming into RIZIN. 16-4-1 as a pro, 2-2 and a draw in his last 5 fights. American top team guy, did really well in the regional scene, came into Bellator and had some really good runs, but just couldn't get over the hump. Like, he lost to really good opponents, couldn't beat Stotts, couldn't beat Magomedov. And I mean, I wouldn't even count this one back in 2019 because he pretty much tore up Titan FC until he got knocked out for the first time. Came back strong, re-won the belt, and actually even has a win over Damon Blackshear, who's been doing really well in the UFC these days. Again, Stotts was really good for a good stretch of his career in Bellator as well. No shame in losing to him. The one thing I will say is Stotts is pretty one-dimensional as well. Stotts basically was like neither of them are really good at striking. Stotts just showed that he was a little bit more well-rounded and was able to exploit that part of his game.
That taught Sabatello a lesson that he needs to incorporate more striking and more volume, because he would have won that bout.
Yep.
If he would have had, because he was out grappling him.
Man, same with the Darren fight.
Strikes. So,
and that's the thing. That's what's frustrating about watching Sabatello. For the most part, fight is he'll and even if he doesn't complete the takedown fully, he'll like push you and he'll dig you enough into like the bottom part of the cage where he eventually push his shoulders in. He'll get on top of you, and then he won't even go full Dagestani where he'll like trap your legs, pull you out, and get into like half guard. He'll just kind of stay there and muffin shots to the body and just kind of wait for a separation or for. He doesn't try to pass guard a lot, is what I'm saying, right?
It's the new mythical fighter in RIZIN.
Well, I will say, in his debut in RIZIN, he put on a show. It was a very favorable matchup because Ota's a very good wrestler as well. But when it comes to just like MMA grappling and usually in MMA, Sabatello was able to quickly shut that down and force Ota to strike. And it's crazy to say that Sabatello is a better striker than someone, but he is a way better striker than Ota. And it showed.
And birth of a new mythical fighter.
And I'm glad. But he couldn't hang with Sato. He couldn't hang with Sato on the feet.
but he got it done on the ground, and he threw some ground.
But I'm just saying, it showed again that, like, okay, he is still like against guys who can strike. It's not good. It's not good. And yes, he pulled it off. He did enough in the control time, but I know a lot of the fans are upset with this decision.
Well, I mean, it was a split, so that.
He clearly, but this is why I think the fans. It was a split. This is why the fans are upset, is because Sabatello won in the way that Sabatello wins fights, control time, and there was clearly more damage that came from Sato. Well, so I think that's where the frustration came.
Remember, Sabatello was throwing grounded strikes. He did have 2 grounded knees.
Yeah, I think Sabatello. I do think Sabatello did enough. I'm just saying that, like, coming off that high of like, oh, he's K1 Sabatello now, only to get outstruck against Sato and have to go back to his old ways, which again, it got him here. This is mixed martial arts. I'm not gonna.
You know why he had to go back to that? Because he ate a grounded kick, and he ate it. Like that would have knocked out a lesser fighter. Remember? Yeah. So
where I'm getting at though is if he had that much trouble with Sato on the feet. Dude, Inoue's a different animal. And like Shoko Sato's good, but Inoue's a different animal because Shoko Sato's not even close to in his prime right now.
Well, I mean, that's why they're I thought Sato was, that's what got him the title shot, was beating Sato like that. So, I mean, I'm stoked for this one, bro. I think people are writing him off, saying, like Drew's saying that Inoue's just gonna plow through him. I'm sure you're gonna pick Inoue as well. But of course, I'm going to root for Sabatello as my American fighter. I always root for my American fighters, but I really think he's got a good shot.
Inoue and Sabatello, baby.
And Shorty Torres.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, I really think that Sabatello's got a shot here, because I was really impressed with, like, the new mythical fighter, K1 striking Sabatello. Like, it really shows that he learned his lesson from those losses, that he needs to incorporate striking into his fights. And if he picks up the volume, and combines the volume striking with his grappling, he can win a lot of fights, against tough guys. So, I mean, I don't know. I just we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be like Inoue is not going to just, like Drew was saying, he's going to plow through him. No way. I don't see Inoue plowing through a guy like Sabatello. Sabatello's too tough.
I don't think he will. I think he can. And I think that's a huge ticket to the UFC, which I know he really wants to go back to. 28 years of age, a little bit younger, and actually has more fighting experience. Not necessarily experience like on the mat, because I know Sabatello has been involved in combat sports and wrestling a lot longer, but only 2 KO TKOs, never been knocked out. Sabatello's not going to knock him out. 9 submissions, has never been submitted. Highly doubt Sabatello's going to submit him. 9 decision wins, and his only losses have come via decision, and that's the only way Sabatello is going to beat him. 10-2 in the UFC or in RIZIN, and a lot of people forget that he fought twice in the UFC as well. Almost lost to Motoya. Definitely looked a lot better against Fukuda. Beat Suchul Kim and dominated him in this one. I will say this was like, Suchul Kim had a hard year. But that's, I'm not going to lie, that fight is what really showed me, like, oh shit, okay, you are better. Like, you're better than I thought you were. You've graduated to the fighter that to your ceiling. And maybe he's even better than he is now, but I feel like he's the fighter that we projected he would be, when he was fighting in the UFC in his early 20s, right? And it's crazy. I for some reason thought he had more knockouts. The fact that he only has 2 KO TKOs doesn't paint the picture of how good of a striker he is. His grappling is underrated. It's not your traditional like Greco like style. It's very MMA flowy grappling. His jiu-jitsu is really good. He's historically trained with really good training partners, whether he has guys come in from North America or goes to North America. I know he does most of his stuff in Japan now anyways. But yeah, for me, it's like Sabatello, despite fighting good competition throughout his career, is just still so one-dimensional. And if anybody has more tools, usually they win. And I think like if Inoue fought Stotts right now, I think Inoue beats Stotts too. So I'm going with Inoue on this one.
All right, so you're not buying into the new mythical fighter K1 striking Sabatello.
Well, I mean, I saw him not be able to do it in his last fight. I saw him. I thought in the Sato fight maybe he'd be able to do it, but no.
Hey, he proved the grounded knees theory in that fight though through two of them. So
Sato's the only one who connected with an actual soccer kick.
Yeah, it's
Sato
a grounded
won
kick,
on damage.
It's a grounded kick now.
Oh, J-Wolf, I thought you were all about damage being the deciding factor.
Yeah, well, Sabatello had 2 grounded knees in that as well, and he also some more striking. He had more volume striking in that one, plus the grappling. Grappling still counts. You got to count that. And you're saying how Inoue has good grappling as well. So I'm expecting to see. I'm really excited to see this one actually, to see if I think Sabatello has good enough grappling to hang with Inoue 100%. I know that he's got good enough, especially wrestling.
That's something. It's more wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it's just one dimensional. It's like he doesn't I don't want to say he doesn't scramble well because that's not fair. He doesn't scramble like an MMA fighter. He scrambles like a wrestler. Like he just looks like a wrestler in there. Except for the Ota fight again, but that's the outlier. So
yeah, that was a new mythical K1.
It's just like I wonder if he's gonna have a different game plan. But then I'm like, fuck, it's Sabatello. He's not gonna have another game plan.
And as Drew points out correctly, Inoue does.
He understands the assignment.
Yeah, he knows the assignment, knows how to throw grounded kicks. Remember, Drew, they're called grounded kicks now. We got to help him with the legalization effort for Shingo. So, but I don't know. As you stated, Aisha, he only has a couple knockouts. It's not like he is scoring a bunch of knockouts. So, I mean, Sabatello is a tough fighter too. So, I mean, just, Drew was trying to talk shit about him eating a grounded kick against Sato, but that grounded kick would have put out most fighters. And Sabatello ate it and was able to come back and win the fight.
He is tough. No, he is tough. It's hard to finish him.
So I believe this is going to go to a decision because, like you said, Inoue has never been knocked out, right? So, and both these guys are low on the knockouts. So it's probably going to be a decision. And I believe Sabatello has the good enough grappling to hang with Inoue. So this could be a real interesting. It's definitely not going to be a blowout. People saying that Inoue's going to just plow through him. That's not going to happen to Sabatello. No way. He's just too good of a fighter, especially grappling, to let that happen. Too tough. Got too good of a chin. So I predict this one's going to be a banger. I really do. I think their grappling's going to cancel each other out. It's going to force Sabatello to dig into his new mythical fighter skills and bring out that K1 striking. And if that happens, then Inoue's going to have to show that he's got tougher striking, and he's going to have to actually show he's got some knockout power. And since, he does know the assignment, that's about the only way he's going to be able to put out Sabatello. He's going to have to do some superior rule set. So, and I believe that's either way. Both guys, if someone's going to get a finish, it's going to be by superior rule set. So I'm just really looking forward to this one. I'm stoked. I'm happy that they're giving Sabatello a title shot. And I'm hoping to pull off the upset here.
Bro, they're gonna watch.
Chances of going to UFC.
If Inoue wins, he goes to the UFC, and Sabatello will just fight for the title again.
No, I want him to spoil the plans of Inoue to go to the UFC. Because if he wins, then Inoue is not going to the UFC. He's gonna have to stay there and get a couple more wins or a rematch or whatever. So, but I think it's a really good matchup. I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking to the UFC, if atomweight existed in the UFC, Seika Izawa would be the UFC fucking atomweight champ because the best female atomweight on the planet is finally fighting Reina, who's just been scared of her hiding for the last 2 years, it seems like. Jay, I'll let you open up.
Eye injury.
I'll let you open up this one because I am 100% on the Seika Izawa train here, and you are 100% on the Reina train here.
Oh, I love
Reina. It's been a year and 4 months since she's fought, and Seika Izawa's fought 1, 2, 3 times this year already.
Yeah, I mean, Striker Queen Reina is she's such a fantastic fighter. She's my favorite female fighter. I mean, she's just got such a great style. Her striking style is so fun to watch, bro. She knows the assignment. throws flying stomps and stomps, and I just, dude, I love her striking style. And I'm really want her to win this and be the one to dethrone Izawa, and I hope she can catch her with something. I hope she has enough grappling to at least keep it on the feet for a little bit to give her a chance to catch her with something.
8 knockouts on the feet, 14-4 in RIZIN. She's been submitted 3 times and got 5 decision wins.
Yeah, she's just a great, and those decisions are, dude, she's got a lot of striking in those decisions. She's just,
yep. The Yuri Shim fight was a fucking war.
Yes.
And you know what? Even Kato Yama, bless her soul, was tough as nails in that one and literally just went toe to toe in the pocket up against the ropes as well. Claire Lopez even gave her like a good first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, dude, she's an exciting fighter, bro. Win or lose, and it's also gorgeous as well, especially when she grows her hair out. I hope she's continuing that, doesn't go back to that short hair. I can't stand short hair on women, especially beautiful women. And she's got the whole package, bro, inside and out the cage. And I really hope she can get it done here. That'd be so great for the division as well. And RIZIN, it would prevent, because if you see Drew's interview with Shingo and Hafid, they were talking like if Izawa wins this, there's not much left to do with the division. They were talking like they were gonna scuttle it, dude. Almost, it's like we don't want that to happen.
If you're so good that you literally beat everybody, that there's no one left for you to beat, then like talk about a fucking mic drop legacy career.
Well, I mean,
that sounds like a RIZIN problem, not a friggin' Seika Izawa problem.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to bring in girls from like Invicta, or outside promotions gonna have to come in.
Again, sounds like a fucking their problem, not Izawa's problem. 17-0, brother.
I know. Hey, she's good. I'm not gonna discredit her for being good, but I mean,
bring in some Mexican chicks with freaking steel chins.
imagine if Striker Queen Reina can pull off this upset and get the victory. That would be so huge for the division, for for RIZIN itself. That it would just be, man. And she's a super popular fighter over in Japan, way more popular than Izawa is.
But Izawa's getting very popular. That's the thing. She's getting more and more popular.
But not to Reina's level. I mean, Reina just, dude, she's one of the premier stars, and
Izawa has the most beautiful smile on the planet, dude. If you ain't getting on the cover of Vogue with that smile, no.
Izawa, like, between her, how many times she actually smiled between her crying?
Just literally every Japanese fighter cries, win or lose, man. My chat literally just win or lose, it's just tears and Japanese flags in my chat every single time. Seika Izawa 17-0. She's a little bit younger, 28 years of age. I didn't realize she was at Japanese top team now, or Japan top team now. 1 KO TKO, which I do think she probably has had opportunities where she could have like finished fights in back mount, but then elects going for like the submission. 9 submissions, 7 decisions. She's the freaking queen of deep jewels. She's the queen of RIZIN. She has defended her title twice now, even though fought at different weights, and some of the fights just weren't title fights. They've just been waiting for Reina to put this title up against her. But man, she beat Oshima, who is another top women's Japanese fighter who they've been wanting to get that fight going for a little while. Yujin Shin she beat. Siwon Park, Kana Asakura, Claire Lopez, Boonsorn, who's pretty good, Siwoo Park, who's pretty good. Like, man, in the last 3 to 4 years, she's been beating top competition, and then in between those top competition fights, she's been staying fresh with just kicking the shit out of some cans in the first round. So I will say, like, the way she dismantled Oshima, Yujin Shim, Siwon Park, and Asakura, she should be able to beat Reina, especially after Reina's like time off. Like, I know like some fighters are so accomplished that ring rust just isn't really a thing for them. I do think there's going to be a little bit here just with like the pace that Izawa puts on you. She has been way more active. Fighting a month ago is a little concerning given that it was like a 3-round fight, and she didn't take much damage, but still going through a camp and a cut and the whole 9 yards. So there's that. But I think she's the way better grappler. She's lankier. This will be one of the few times where she doesn't like completely tower over her opponent, as Reina, I think, is like the same height as her. But she is like a lot lankier. She's so strong for that lanky frame too. And as a result is so good in the clinch, good at scrambles, good at ground and pound. Her like single legs and double legs aren't super clean though. So that's something Reina could take advantage of with some like counter knees or especially the counter knees, but some elbows maybe on that entry as well. But yeah, I think Izawa is going to win in this one. I'm interested to see what the odds, like, I don't think they're going to be as one-sided as like the chat and Tapology, but like I could see Seika coming in at like what, like a minus 350 or something like that.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be the favorite. And, you know, I'm just hoping that, you know, like Reina, you know what?
If Reina wins, at least it causes a rematch and keeps the division humming for a little bit.
That's right. And either way, you know, even if Izawa wins, they could bring in girls from outside promotions like Invicta or Combate Global that has flyweights. I mean, atom weights. Or just tell
Izawa, yeah, you got to move up to flyweight because you're like, you literally are the queen. Like, you are the division. Like.
and you know what also going to be a factor? It's going to be, if you notice in Reina's most recent fights, where she was having her bangs down to where she was having to pull her hair out of her eyes. And even to the point to where Michael Chiavallo called her out on it. It was like, hey, you know, what are you doing? You keep doing that. It's throwing off your timing in the fight. So if she comes into this fight with, you know, her hair right where it's not getting her eyes and she can focus on the fight, she might have a better chance. But if she comes in there with her bangs down where she's having to wipe it out of her eyes, she's going to get steamrolled, I think. But, you know, I don't want to pick on this one. You know how I'm superstitious of fights I care about. Or, you know, maybe for you, for this show, because we're all about picks, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to try to reverse jinx this. I'm going to pick Izawa to win.
Oh, there we go. Great. You heard it here first, folks. Greatest female atomweight of all time.
But you know my heart's with Striker Queen Reina, or the Shoot Boxing Queen is her official name. But, you know, it's the Shoot Boxing Queen versus the Deep Queen, or the Rising Queen, whatever. But
the atomweight queen.
Yeah. Well,
dude, no one is ever gonna break that record too, which is crazy. Even if they open up the division, I don't like it. It's like it globally. I don't think anyone's gonna break it. It's not.
And also, Reina was part of the very first RIZIN, so it's kind of symbolic that she's on this 10-year anniversary show. And I think she might be one of the only fighters, if not the only fighter, that is. You know, was on the very first show and is on this show, the 10-year anniversary show. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
And the mystery fighter is Krokop is actually fighting Soldalkin, and he's back too, guys.
That'd be awesome, yeah. Oh, Bader got injured. Oh, we're putting Krokop against Soldalkin. Oh, whoops, don't want to do that.
Oh man. All right, co-main event. We have Satoshi Roberto de Souza taking on no longer Shunta Nomura because he's a Band-Aid. He must have been training so hard for that knee to be as mangled as it was.
Well, you know, that's what people keep saying, but did you see the Patrick Mahomes injury? I keep going back to this because Patrick Mahomes had a very similar knee injury where it had both the ACL and the MCL were torn. And for his injury, if you didn't see it, it was a NFL game, Kansas City Chiefs, and he just planted wrong. And when he planted wrong, his knee like twisted wrong, and that tore both of those ACL and MCLs. And so if that's the same thing that happened with Nomura, I'm thinking he did something where like he was, you know, sprawling or something, trying to defend takedown in his sparring, and just planted his leg wrong and just twisted wrong. And that's what I don't think he was going super hard to where like, you know, he was doing like leg locks or something, getting like a leg lock competition where somebody just shredded his knee by accident. I don't think it was like that. I think it was just like a regular.
It's just tough to like, because again, NFL is different because they're way heavier and your momentum and it's explosive, right? Movements. Whereas obviously it's different. It's just so different because you're not planting and pivoting, which like, you use like if you get caught, your knees. I hear what you're saying. Like maybe they're not going full like throttle in the room, and I get that, but still, it for it to be ripped like that, it means that A, it was already really injured, or B, like freak accident from probably going too hard in the gym. You know what I mean? It's you don't see it that intense and that bad if, even with accidents.
Well, I mean, that's why I brought up the Patrick Mahomes injury, because that didn't look like it was that bad either. They just planned it wrong and just tore his knee up, and that's what I'm guessing. I'm giving Nomura the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't being stupid and training too hard and overtraining. It was just a freak accident.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a title shot, so maybe he was hurt and he was like, I'm gonna train anyways because it's a title shot, big money. Like fighting Satoshi.
And if you watch the Rising Confessions series, his train, he's in the gym with Shinya Aoki, and Aoki was like, he said something like, "It's maybe too soon for me, like to have like another year before."
It's too soon for him.
Yeah, no. Now he's got what he wanted. Now he's got another year to prepare for him. So, but you know what? I think this makes the fight better. Like I was saying earlier, I think now the fight is even better. I think it's more of a I was thinking that Satoshi-san, Roberto de Souza, the Satoshi, was just going to steamroll Nomura. And now that Nazimov's plugged in there, I think it's a much better fight. And also, another good thing about this is that Nazimov is not just getting off the couch and filling in as a late replacement. He was trained for another fight, so he was already in training, and now he's filling in for Nomura, right? And so he is training, and he is switching his training up to be for a title fight now against Satoshi. So,
I mean, yeah, he's training to fight Bei Noah now, like just a striker, a chinny striker up against now arguably the most dangerous jiu-jitsu guy next to Kleber, who also, by the way, has knockout power.
the new mythical K1 striking Satoshi-san.
Well, since you brought up, we'll go over him first since you brought him up here, and we'll 12-3 as a pro, a legit like MMA prospect, and one guy that has been doing really well in RIZIN thus far. 6 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 3 decisions, 3-0 in RIZIN, 3-1 in some random ass regional promotion, World Combat Self-Defense Association. Again, we talked about it in the knee breakdown. Knee was looking pretty good against him until he landed that front kick. So he's a rangy striker with good grappling, but his striking is what makes him the most dangerous. Absolutely destroyed Yamamoto and looked really good against Dia as well. Got knocked out in the first round, puncher's chance sort of thing. Competed in pretty good organizations before coming over to RIZIN, mainly UAE Warriors. I guess it's a stretch to call Eagle FC a good organization, but there were some good talent in that friggin' money-making scheme. It definitely is more of a striking threat to Satoshi, because as good as Nomura is, another guy training at ATT, by the way, and as much power as he has in his fists, he's never been finished in mixed martial arts, but I just think it's because A, Gustavo had a bad night, B, Patricki's old, and who the fuck is Ito? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been going up against guys who've been like super, super dangerous other than Gustavo, and in that one, it surprised me. I mean, I picked Gustavo to win in that one, right? I picked Gustavo to win in that one.
That's probably what got him the title shot. And then, because they put him against Patricki after that.
Which was a fun fight, and Patricki still showed that he can brawl, but like Patricki is so far from what Patricki was. So I do think Nomura was either going to get taken down and submitted or straight up ground and pounded if he did fight Satoshi. And to be honest, man, I think it's going to be the same outcome for Nazimov. I think Nazimov might be a little cute in the first couple minutes with his outside shots, maybe try to throw that front kick again. But unless it's a front kick to the face or some crazy like step in elbow, been there, done that for Satoshi. Fought guys just as good, guys just as dangerous. 6 KO TKOs, but we never thought he was freaking K1 Satoshi. We only thought he was the submission king for so long. 13-1 in RIZIN, 0-2 in Bellator, but his fight with AJ McKee was very close. He's defended his title 5 freaking times. I would say 6. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and that the other loss in Bellator against Patricky Pitbull, we gotta put the asterisk to that.
And yeah, he took that one on short notice, like
24
days.
2 days short notice to save the lightweight Grand Prix and do Bellator a solid and Scotty Coates a solid. So he literally got off the couch.
Yeah, he got Harry Hardwicked.
Yeah, dude, it was, and that's why for Nomura, after when they matched up with Patricky Pitbull, that was why that was a title eliminator. Because if Patricky won against Nomura, they're going to have Patricky rematch Satoshi-san. So.
Yeah, and Nazimov usually fights at 145 as well, so obviously taking his fight up a weight class.
Drew made a comment saying
and his only loss is at lightweight as well.
Yes. So I want to make sure to point that out. Drew always likes to point that out. So
look at Satoshi's last ones, and this one should have been a title fight. It's stupid that just because they're rising in Korea, so I consider this his 6th, going in for the 7th. But anyways, he beat Hori, beat Wambonki, Karamov, Gustavo, and Nakamura, all top guys in RIZIN. Spike, he would have beat Pitbull with a camp, and he arguably beat AJ McKee when AJ McKee was at his best as well. Before then, beat Johnny Case, who's still dangerous, just can't make weight. Beat Yachi back when Yachi was good, and beat Tofik when Tofik was at his best as well. So
Tofik is in the UFC now.
Yeah, but he got fucking destroyed in his debut. It was embarrassing how easily he got beat. So.
Oh, was it?
I'm just like, but what I said he beat Tofik in Tofik's prime.
Yeah.
I would say beating this Tofik is even better than that Tofik is even better than beating the UFC version of Tofik right now. He's probably gonna get cut. But anyways,
was it that bad? I didn't even get to see it.
He lost in a minute.
Oh man, terrible. Yeah,
it was a minute or 2 minutes. It was in the first round he got some. It might have been early in the second, but it was if it was the case, it was in. He got absolutely destroyed.
Well, thank goodness.
Oral beat him, right? Oral by.
Well, what was it? Oh, they put him against a tough guy. No wonder.
That means.
Well, thank goodness for.
I'm glad that they. Yeah, I'd rather them throw them in the deep waters so that when the ones that do win, like when Horiguchi, then it shows that RIZIN ain't just for bums. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what Jiri and Cape already proved.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, but they have a habit of doing that for outside guys. They put them against super tough.
I like it though because I'm always the one who's arguing for the guys to come in and saying that they're so good. So put your money where your mouth is. If you say so good, put him up against the best guys, and if he beats them, then fucking right. Pico too. They put Pico up against a good guy, and look what happened, right?
Yeah, they destroyed Pico. I mean, but
good. If he's gonna come in and say I want to be one of the best, and I've been the best in other major organizations. They didn't give him a title shot. Kai got the fucking title shot and proved it wasn't at that level. I am perfectly fine giving the guys who if they give Shaydullaev a layup, say Shaydullaev signed with the UFC and they would have given him a layup, I would have been pissed. I'd be dude.
I'm not saying a layup. I'm saying I don't want them to get thrown in with the top 5 guy or top 10. Give him a top 10, top 15, or top 20 guy to get rid of the octagon jitters, and then you put him against a top 10 guy for a second.
I would have hoped that Tofik wouldn't have had octagon jitters at this point of his career, but I don't know. I guess it's different.
Was it Orblind top 10 though?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. That's what I'm saying. I like it when guys that I prop up come in and have to put their money, put the money where the mouth is, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when it works, I know what you're saying, because when it works, it's spectacular. Like what happened with Jiri. I mean, that was, right away, top 10 guy, then the top 5 guy, then the title shot, and he won the title. So that was, that's when it works, right? But when it doesn't, it's just they use it as a smear campaign against outside organizations. So especially with the Bellator fighters, like what they did with Patricky Pitbull. I'm so happy that they got a win in his second fight. So hopefully Tofik will get another, he doesn't get cut because he only had 1 fight in UFC so far, right? So hopefully his next fight will be better, and it'll show for those people that are saying the outside guys suck, and just got to keep going back to to Cape and Yuri. And, you know, other guys too, like Rosenstruik was from RIZIN, and a bunch of guys were from RIZIN. And same thing with the Bellator guys. Nobody ever talks about Volkov, former Bellator champion, top five
heavyweight. He's the best Bellator guy to come over to the UFC.
Well, I mean, Patricky is, I think, the best Bellator guy.
He has not proved that he's the best Bellator guy to come over to the UFC yet.
Well, he just got a top 10 win, right?
Yeah, but like how many? He's had 2 fights compared to like 10 from Volkov. Why are we even putting him in the same stratosphere? It's not even close.
Well, because you said the best Bellator guy to come over.
The best Bellator guy to come over is you. There's no universe where you will ever convince me otherwise.
Well, I mean,
maybe
he was more accomplished in Bellator.
Well, I mean,
that's
my point is, how can you even say that when Patricky's had 2 fights in the UFC? We don't even know close yet if he's going to even be to the same bar as Volkov in the UFC yet.
Because of how accomplished he was in Bellator.
It means nothing.
So you're saying he's
we're having a different conversation here. I'm saying Volkov, the best fighter who has come from Bellator in the UFC. There's no way that's Pitbull yet.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, well, Pitbull's old now, so I don't know.
No, but I think that's what I'm saying. I don't want to keep going around because I think we're having a different conversation. I'm saying that Volkov is the best fighter from Bellator to have ever been in the UFC and in the UFC, because he is. Like, you look at his record, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
What about Black Beast?
He fought in LFA more than he fought in Bellator. Like I said, I don't want to keep. I don't know why we're like. Let's just move on because I think we're having a different conversation.
Okay, all right, yeah. Let's get back to this.
Okay, we're both going with Satoshi.
Yes, yeah. Okay. You know, it's a much better fight because, and I don't think he's gonna. You think that Satoshi's gonna steamroll steamroll Nazimov, because just like he was gonna steamroll Nomura, but I don't think his striking is as good as. I think Nazimov's got a little bit better striking. I mean, obviously Satoshi-san's grappling is better than, Nazimov's. I mean, Satoshi-san is one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters in the game, especially for the lightweight division. So it's obviously better grappling, but for the striking department, I mean, even the new new mythical fighter K1 striking Satoshi, I don't know if he's got as good a striking as Nazimov. That's why I'm saying I think it's a better matchup than Nomura.
Definitely a better matchup. But when I saw Knee give him some issues early, told me enough of what I need to know about Nazimov. In that, if he can't hit you on the outside, good luck, dude.
All right,
good luck.
Well, I'm definitely picking Satoshi-san to win and get another title victory. But it's not going to be as one-sided as Nomura would have been.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
Okay, cool.
All right. We've made it. The main event. Would I have liked to see a Dautbek in there or somebody else? Yes, but there was nobody else ready. It's New Year's Eve. Mikuru Asakura is one of the biggest fighting stars in Japan.
Well, bro,
one of the biggest stars in RIZIN.
Real quick,
he came off a couple wins. It is what it is. And what I like about it is it gives time for some of these other matchups to play out and other prospects to marinate, because maybe by the time Shaydullaev is ready to fight next, we actually have a legit contender for him. So,
well, you remember what the plan was, is because this is because they re-signed Shaydullaev to multiple fights, so that's why they're giving Mikuru the title shot. Because before, this was supposed to be his last fight on his contract, right? And they were going to go with Satoshi for a super fight, and
which I think they still should have, but
they still can now. They still can do that next. So but right now they're going with the big money fight because Mikuru is coming off of a win against Kleber. So that's got him a title shot against Shaydullaev, and now it's not a waste of a title shot because he re-signed with them for multiple fights. So now they're just doing a big money fight for Mikuru because Mikuru is the big superstar. And, and what if he wins? What if he, gets a miracle, finish by, catches him with a knockout or something, catches Shaydullaev slipping and taking him lightly and catches him with something. That would just make, dude, imagine for the business, that would make the fight next year against Ren Hiromasa, because that's what they're gonna do next for Mikuru. Is the Ren Hiromasa rematch, and that would be, dude, that would fill up the Olympic Stadium, bro. They could have a chance to break the almighty Pride FC record of 91,000 fans with that matchup if Mikuru can beat Shaydullaev here. But no, the point is that this bout the reason they're doing this is because Shaydullaev re-signed for multiple fights.
I don't think that's you keep saying that. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Well, it does.
I think it's New Year's Eve and Mikuru's on a win streak, so they're like, sick. We can put him in. I don't know what what does the contract extension have to do? Like, are they rewarding him for signing with a money fight?
No, because is that what you're saying? Before it was going to be Satoshi for a super fight as his last contracted fight.
Well, but okay, so why does that matter at all? Like, why? Okay, so because he re-signed, they canceled that fight. Why?
Because now he has more fights under his.
Then I know, but I'm asking, why does that matter?
Because now it's not a waste of one of his fights to face Mikuru, so it's not like, like before that would just be like him, beating Mikuru and then going to UFC.
So,
well, it'd be better to face Satoshi in a super fight, and Satoshi probably
before
beat him.
Going. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look at Kai freaking need a half dead Archuleta who made weight an hour before the fight, and then he came to the UFC. So I mean, that's way more embarrassing than beating Mikuru. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, you mentioned it a couple times, so I just want to know. Like, I think that this is more so. On one of the points that you mentioned, that Mikuru's on a 2-fight win streak and dollar bills, right? Like, okay, Mikuru, we can now promote that he is the next title guy, which, they have enough of a storyline to promote that when you, me, and everyone who watches promotion knows that he's not really the next guy up. It's just, it works with the timing. The super fight fell through. For some reason, even though they're not from the same fucking country, Dautbek and him don't want to fight, and Akimoto's not ready for that title shot yet. So it honestly ended up working out, even though I roll my eyes at it a little bit. It's probably still going to be a fun fight. Either Shaydullaev gets a quick finish or we see a little bit of a scrap from Mikuru. They're both making fucking bank. The fans who love Mikuru want to see it. They just want to see him fight anyways. And it's New Year's Eve. It's a big name, 2 big names, 2 big draws at the end of the card. So with this fight going on too, like I mentioned in the opening part of the segment, it allows for, Akimoto to get this fight done and then set up maybe the title eliminator fight. It sets up, another fight for prospects and sets up just some more time for some guys who are rising as well to shape up the division a little bit more. Even if it takes, Shaydullaev having a super fight and then still allowing the division to move forward before his next 3 fights or 2 fights, however much he signed a 4 or 5 fight deal, I'm pretty sure. So if he has 2 or 3 fights left on the contract, then sweet. There should be some guys ready in the division for him at that point.
Absolutely. And I hope that, that fight with Satoshi, the super fight that was going to happen, I hope that does happen next year while they're doing the title eliminator with Akimoto and Dautbek.
It'd be cool if they did like a, I don't know, like they did RIZIN in Korea. If they did like RIZIN in like Kazakhstan or something. Then they, or like somewhere in that region, and then just had like a bunch of Kyrgyzstanis and Kazakhs on the card and had Dautbek and Shaydullaev as like the, featured.
Well, remember that's what we were expecting is going to happen next year since the Saitama Super Arena is undergoing renovations. Dude, they got to have at least one international event, their World Series events. And like, I don't know how long ago it is now, but like a year ago or whatever it was, Sakakibara-san had a meeting with the Kazakhstan president, and it looked like they were like setting up for a international event to happen there. And with all these guys like Shaydullaev and Dautbek and Nazimov and all these guys, dude, it seemed like they could put on a banger card in the like where Kazakhstan is in that region, right? So I mean, it would make sense, especially with Shaydullaev headlining. I mean, I hope that's what happens actually. So, but I mean, this one. So you're not giving Mikuru a chance at all, right?
No.
What do the odds say? I wonder how bad the odds are going to be.
We don't have odds. We don't have odds till 2 days before the event every time.
I mean, what is the Tapology? Oh, 93%. So, with this one, actually, I kind of agree. And Jay Krish gave him a great nickname for Shaydullaev, calling him, he's the steamroller.
Dude, Shaydullaev's gonna hurt Mikuru more than Ren's roided ass fucking roided ass will or did.
I just love it that they're gonna get a nice money fight out of Asakura and give him a title shot, make him happy, make his fans happy, and then they'll set up next year for the rematch against Ren for the Tokyo Dome, probably.
If Shaydullaev doesn't kill him.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, if somehow Mikuru pulls it off, bro, that's just gonna, oh my goodness, you're gonna hear the dude, audible Sakakibara-san yelling from the stage, going, yeah, dude, probably popping shit. He won't even wait to get in the ring. He'll pop that Angel champagne bottle right there ringside, and just, man, it'll be a celebration, because that'll just be money in the bank for them. Mikuru would just be, a superstar for them if you can win, but I think it's going to be a Shaydullaev victory, 100%. It just, you know what? Even if Mikuru can get into the, past the first and second round, if he can get into the third round or even halfway into the second round, that's a win. That's a win for him. So even if he loses, if he can at least not get steamrolled, that's still a win, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, just like in the Kleber fight.
Absolutely.
And he ended up winning, right? I was saying, like, I would have called it a win even if he made it to the end and lost, right? Just like lost a decision, but he ended up winning the decision.
Yeah. And it also shows, dude, apparently he's been training really hard, as he should have for a fighter of the caliber of Shaydullaev. And like Drew always says, Shaydullaev is arguably one of the best, if not the best fighter outside of the UFC right now. I personally have Nemkov as the best fighter outside the UFC right now, but Shaydullaev is right there in my book as a close second.
Phil the Free is the greatest fighter outside the UFC.
I know you love your Phil the Freeze.
Phil the Free would honestly still beat half the heavyweight division right now, because the UFC heavyweight division is absolute joke.
And I hope they do a more than one World Series event next year, and they do like a collaboration event with KSW and do Phil DeFreeze versus Soldakin or something, and that would be fantastic, I think. So, but how about this? For the lighter weight divisions, Shaydullaev is the best fighter outside the UFC.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. I know people say Parnassi, but I don't know. I still think Shaydullaev's got him.
Yeah.
Wait, are you schooling the
No,
chat?
Not schooling. He's saying, I'm not a provocateur. I'm just curious. I just want to give a shout out to actually Nicolos. It's his first time here. And I just want to say, this is our RIZIN picks, preview, and predictions podcast. We do this every month before the RIZIN event. We do like a big 2 to 3 hour show where we dive into the huge card. And he's just asking a little bit about RIZIN. He's like, first time here, never seen the show. What are the superior rules? So,
nice. Yeah.
To our friend Nicholas, it's a great show. It's on New Year's Eve for Japan. So, depending on where you said you're in Georgia. So you'll have to check out your time zone compared to theirs. But yeah, it's on New Year's Eve in Japan, and it is always an amazing event. And this league in particular, I'll say this: the UFC is like the Premier League soccer of MMA, right? It's the NHL, the MLB, the NFL, Premier League soccer. It's the highest league with the most talented fighters, right? That does not mean that it is the most entertaining. And I will vehemently say that it's not, because of the rules, because of some internal politics, and because of, fighters are making a lot of money at the top of the UFC, and they're not going to risk that by fighting an entertainment style versus a style to win. And I respect that and understand that. Doesn't mean I have to bend over and praise the UFC being the most entertaining thing out there. Leagues I suggested in the live chat: Black Combat. It's a Korean league, superior rule set. I got Jay Wolf into it. Deep, some superior rule set. Low level Japanese, mostly prospects and feeders into RIZIN, but really entertaining style. It's straight up fucking Nokia and Toyota employees who are just fighting for fun and free katsu dogs. It's awesome. They don't give a fuck. And it's just amazing. Like the Peach Boy fight will forever be one of the best fights I've ever seen because that guy just left it all out there, including his heart, because I swear he had a heart attack, friggin' Dada 5000 style on his way out. KSW is a really good league. Unfortunately, they have the unified rules, but they allow as much steroids as you want to inject in Poland. And there's some of the most savage fights ever. I've never seen a bad KSW card, and I've only seen 2 that had an under 80% finish rate. Let that sink in. I've watched over 40 KSW shows. Only 2 had an under 80% finish rate.
Plus, they got your boy Phil DeFreeze.
And I got my boy Phil DeFreeze, the best heavyweight fighter on the planet. Saladin's pretty damn good as well, like you mentioned. And what was the other leagues I mentioned? Hold on. Well, there's one more I mentioned here for him.
I want to get to your one of your commenters.
We'll get to them. They can wait.
Okay, well, he's asking about what the chance he sees a soccer kick on New Year's Eve. And we call them grounded kicks now, bro, because they're trying to get them legalized here. And they want to call them grounded kicks instead of soccer kicks because it's like.
Well, I think we're at least going to see 2. We've been seeing at least 3. I think on the last 4 we've seen a minimum of 3 to 4 thrown and 2 land. So
yeah, we see. That's the thing. We don't see finishes as much anymore with Superior Rule Set. We see plenty of action. You're definitely going to see some grounded knees, some grounded kicks, maybe some grounded up kicks. You're going to see Superior Rule Set. It's just, are we going to get Superior Rule Set finishes? That's the question right there.
Because usually the Superior Rule Set, like usually the grounded kick or the grounded kicks more than grounded knees. Grounded knees in these leagues are used to help pass guard, or if someone's planted and you're on their side, it's to get them to move, which again would be a godsend in the UFC. But anyways, God.
Or
it's usually, before I get off this, but the soccer kick, the grounded kick is always usually to when the opponent's already like half out or grounded, right? So we don't see them because people aren't putting themselves in positions like that, and we're seeing more and more finishes. Like no one's gonna just be on top, pushing you up against the cage, locked one arm, punching you in the face, looking at the ref, waiting to the fight, and go, actually no, I'm gonna leave him here, get back up to my feet, and kick him in the face, right? It's you have to be in the right positions and right sequences. You can't just like give up the win to maybe get it when you could potentially get the person getting back up to their feet, and So I think that's why we're not seeing them as much.
In Black Combat, bro. They're finishing strikes, and guys would know
because and again, that's what I love about Black Combat. They're caring less about Black Combat. They will let that position go and just go and kick him in the face. Like it's a different league. It's different for a reason. It's way more focused on violence than winning the fight. You know what I mean? Than winning the fight.
And they just
kind of like deep.
They had a recent stomp finish in Black Combat that I thought was badass, and that's one reason why I love Striker Queen Arena so much, because she goes for flying stomps. My personal favorite strike in mixed martial arts, flying stomps, most exciting one. I'm hoping to see a flying. That's what I always want to see, a flying stomp TKO or KO. That would just be the best. Hope we see one on.
They happen in deep quite a bit. Not KOs, but like almost. Like they'll fucking jump.
And there was
awesome.
This
one. I gotta speed through these comments here because it's so late. And we've gone way past.
We did. We went past 2 hours and 30 minutes. Sorry about that.
Let me fire through these last comments, guys. I'll share the schedule and then we'll mosey.
Okay. Let the new guy know that where to watch it as well is on RIZIN.
Don't worry, we'll get to it, Jay. We'll get to it. This ain't my first rodeo. Yes, I agree. They definitely should be there. I don't know if you had them, but now I'm really interested. Yes, sir. And I'll be covering the event live as well. So if you want to jump in the chat and hang out with us while we'll be way more interactive. Again, this is very much the preview show. And if we read chat as much as we're reading now, we'd never get through the picks. So that's why we try to keep it going until the end here. Preach. But yeah, we're happy to have you, and thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see Don Fry, the mustache guy.
Preaching, Aisha. That was awesome.
I'm thinking of watching RIZIN. I just don't. Oh, okay, we already went. Yeah, just watch it. You'll see some.
Yeah.
You'll see some.
Absolutely.
Peach Boy would slaughter Tommy.
Yeah. You'll see some Superior Rule Set. We just don't know if there's gonna be a Superior Rule Set finish.
Yeah. Every intermission they show their craziest highlights, which is awesome. And I think they'll show all the best of 2025 this year. Well, exactly. Like Jan would have never had to make a comeback arc. He would have just been the king. Hey, good to see you. Hey, well, Chon, we actually started 3 hours ago, so you're late. Actually, you're late. But I will be adding timestamps.
May's talking about the RIZIN stream. And remember that starts at around 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern is when the prelim starts, and the opening ceremony is at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern.
Isn't there only one prelim though?
Yes, the Koshin final.
Well, they're going to drag that shit out, guys. They're going to drag that shit out.
The opening ceremony is supposed to have the pride drum and some pyrotechnics and stuff. So we might be getting a good opening ceremony and some good walkouts. Yeah.
So, Nicholas, the rules are even better than Pride in that you're allowed elbows. Because in Pride, because they were scared of cuts, you weren't allowed elbows. Now in RIZIN, they're like, this is 2025 and we're not on Fuji TV and you'll fuck the Yakuza. We do what we want. They did not say that. We love the Yakuza, right?
Yeah. And they were the first to do 12-6 elbows in RIZIN as well, which are now legal in UFC. But RIZIN was first.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, always appreciate you guys hanging out. I know we haven't done many of them live. Usually I edit them, but I just don't have time. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'm drinking and eating all day tomorrow. I'm actually, J-Wolf, I got like an hour left of work, and then I'm going to crush a workout, and then a quick sauna, and a stretch. So that way tomorrow, I basically just turn back everything that I did today, but I'll feel better about myself for doing it.
Nice. Oh, I love doing them live, bro. I think it's much better live, and it's less work for you to do with editing and stuff. And it's just as good live as edited, so...
Yeah. I mean, Loner, he re-signed with RIZIN, so no, this will not be his last fight.
Which one was asking about?
Loner asked of Shaydullaev. He re-signed with RIZIN.
Yeah, no, that's what we're saying. That's he was supposed to be a super fight with Satoshi-san, but he re-signed for multiple fights. So that's why they're doing Mikuru and.
It's not why you keep saying that like it's fact. Like, nobody but you thinks that. Somebody clip it. Oh, I need Drew to clip every time J-Wolf said that. We need a counter.
No way. You'd be getting an hour-long video just on that.
All right, last few comments, and then we'll get to the housekeeping notes, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. I love that thought process in Pride. You can stomp on someone till they're out cold, but no elbows, right? and 10-minute first rounds in Pride too, which was insane.
You know what the no elbows was? Because for the Grand Prix, and because they had one night final Grand Prix.
Well, so and Fuji TV didn't like blood, so they just didn't. Yeah.
They used to be pussies about blood, which is what I was talking about with Shinosuke, about how I loved how the BKFC collaboration man them up to blood, and for cuts and stuff, they don't stop fights as much. Nicholas,
I'll say this: there's so many more fighters to start focusing on than just Ilya, who's probably not going to fight for a very long time. Merab is great, and I think he's one of the best. He clearly is the best representation of Georgia. He's was in GOAT talks, and will potentially go down as one of the best in bantamweight history if he's not already there, right? But man, I would say start fucking watching some of these regional shows. A lot of them are coming over to North America. A lot of them are competing in LFA, Tough Enough. I would say more of them are coming over to compete in North America than staying in some of the domestic leagues around Georgia and Russia. But no, they're definitely crushing it. And I think because of Merab and Ilya and just this big boom, there's been a lot of good aftermath, and that's a lot of fighters and prospects are coming over or going to bigger gyms to really follow their dream, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I would say there's a few in LFA. I saw there was one in Tough Enough. Ilya's brother's obviously going to be buzzing here soon. So yeah, no, it's cool to see that Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Georgia in the last 3 to 4 years have started to continue to not just produce 1 or 2 stars, but to start pushing a lot more prospects. Like I said, it was the TV network.
Yeah, it's a Japanese thing, bro. And that's what I was saying about how I love the BKFC collab, because it manned them up to blood. Because they had some terrible stoppages before for just like a bloody nose they stopped the fight for a freaking blood. It wasn't even a cut above the eye or anything. And they would have like little tiny cuts that they would stop the fight for. And now that the BKFC collaboration, even though it's not happening anymore, I guess, hopefully it does in the future. But when they did have those BKFC fights, it manned them up to the blood. So now they don't stop as many fights just because of blood. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, reminder, because there are some new folks here in the chat. If you missed the show and you're just joining us here live, I will be adding timestamps literally right after this airs. Before I get any food in me, before I do anything, I'm going to be putting timestamps because it's a long-ass show. But I stream and cover 30-plus hours of combat sports every single weekend, guys. We crushed it last weekend. Pancrase, Cage Free FC, KSW, American fucking Muay Thai, Octagon, One Championship, FFC, and Inca. We had Wednesday and Thursday nights of Peruvian MMA, and arguably two of the best fights of the year occurred on each of the cards, which was awesome. I did post my schedule for this week. It's a little thinner than usual. Sorry, I wasn't able to do Brave this morning. Work, but Christmas Day I will be live, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be live either covering BPL out of Uzbekistan or just some freaking Christmas crazy ass Muay Thai. So I mean, it's bright and early for either of them, so just depending on how hungover I am, we'll see. Then on Friday we got ice cage fighting. And it's not fighting on ice like that BKFC promotion or Ice Wars. It's a Finnish promotion. So I already bought the pay-per-view. So whether we stream it or not, I'm going to watch it. So I've already supported the boys in Finland. So that's on Friday. Saturday, we got Inoue very early Saturday, 3 a.m. We'll be live for that. Fuck the zone. Hopefully it's on Unex. Yeah, if I'm alive after this stream, we'll go right to the RWS. This is 3 a.m., this is 6 a.m. So right after the Inoue card, we'll jump over to RWS and catch the last of that. And then the only other thing that's on friggin' Saturday is Cage Free FC Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or some kickboxing in Japan. I'll make a poll question. You guys let me know which one you want to cover. And then Sunday is honestly the biggest fucking day. I'm so stoked. A huge year-end Octagon card, Octagon 81. It's a stacked card, man. It is a stacked card. Will Fleury taking on Martin Budai, former UFC guy. Will Fleury looking to be double champ. Is he not already double champ? He's light and heavy, but regardless. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. And icing on the freaking cake, Jay. Well, icing on the freaking cake is I will also be covering so many of the IHF World Junior Hockey Tournament. That is actually going to be in Minnesota. One sec, let me bring that up. That's actually going to be in Minnesota. I might go to a game on Friday here in town. But here's my second channel, the Soda Pod. I cover hockey. I basically do what I do for Fight Companions, but covering the NHL. You can see me here just covering wild stuff. But every year we cover the international tournaments, and we get a ton of people in the chat hanging out and watching with us, guys. So I'll be covering that on my second channel as well. If you like hockey, the Soda Pod is I honestly put more hours into this brand than I do City Life, if you can believe it or not. So go check out this.
You're a man. You're hardcore, bro. You're the hardest of the hardcore.
Yo, shout out to Smalls for becoming a member. Let's go. Thank you, Smalls, my man. 20s for a McDonald's meal. Bro, $20 for a RIZIN card is worth way more than a $20 McDonald's meal, baby. Let's go.
Great.
Where can the fans find you?
On the RIZIN TV, if you buy the pay-per-view, you get the replay as well. And you get like 2 or 3 weeks to watch it on replay. So if you can't make it through the night to stay up late, just watch the replay. It's freaking awesome. I love that now. So, you asked where they can find me?
Yes,
you can
sir.
find me on Twitter at JAYYOLF1. Yes, it's misspelled on purpose. That's how you know it's me, not an imposter. And if you're a real person, I'll follow you back, especially if you're a mixed martial arts fan. I love talking to mixed martial arts fans, and I'll follow you right back. And also on the RIZIN FF Fans Discord channel. I love it in there. It's so much fun. We talk about go watch the fights, everything in there. Talk about combat sports. It's so much fun in there. And then also on the We Are RIZIN podcast, it's the one with Drew for a preview for this. The format was kind of messed up, but we're going to be doing a review show after the fights. So come check us out. The format will be fixed for that. And same thing for Focus Fights. I just did a preview show with Jay Krish on Focus Fights. And for his review show, though, there's a fan, one of our bros is actually in Japan going to these fights so for the New Year's Eve. So he's going to be doing the review show on Focus Fights. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then right here, the best podcast, the most fun podcast right here, the City Life Project. And what everybody tune into is live stream for the New Year's Eve extravaganza. And it's a lot. I love coming in here and hanging out, especially during the intermissions. It's great coming in here and hanging out with you guys for intermissions. Yes, sir. And then I'm gonna try
to get Aniki to jump on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
if he's because I know he's good. I mean, he's in Japan, so if he's not there,
I think he might also. Yeah, we're gonna have several people that are gonna be there, bro. Several people from the RIZIN FF Fans Discord are gonna be there. We got a bunch of big names in the RIZIN FF Fans Discord as well. You're in there, so that's we got a bunch of guys in there. That's a lot of fun in there. But yeah, just I can't thank you enough, Aisha, for having me on here. Right here at the City Life Project podcast, the best freaking podcast on the game, most fun by far. And also want to give a shout out to my dad right here. This would have been his 100th year. He would have been 100 years old this year, and he's World War II veteran. And after World War II, he went into the aerospace industry. Was part of the Moon Project, and helped get me into the moon, and then just all kinds of cool stuff, bro. Just rest in peace to my dad. Rest in peace, rest in power, rest in paradise to my dad. Just a great great man. And just this would have been his 100-year birthday. And then shout out to RIZIN for being going for 10 years and giving us what we wanted this year. And just can't wait for next year. Just keep it going. Just absolutely love it.
Hell yeah. Hey, well said. And rest in peace to Pops.
Thanks, brother.
Thanking him for his service.
Yeah, without him,
I know. Because you tell me a lot about your dad. You told me some stories. I know he'd be fucking stoked for this card. So he'll be watching with us. He'll be watching with us.
Exactly. Yeah. He'll be watching in spirit. Absolutely.
There you go. Well, guys, if you missed the show, like I said, I'm going to put timestamps on in the next 5 minutes. So just refresh it a little bit here and you'll see it. J Wolf, I look forward to this every single month. Can't wait for the next one. Happy holidays to everybody in the chat. If I don't see you on one of these streams this weekend, obviously you're going to be busy with friends and family. I get it. I'll be spending the day tomorrow with friends and family too. So happy holidays. Happy New Year. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Nicholas, like and subscribe because I want to have more MMA conversations. I want to make a regional MMA fan out of you as well, sir.
Yes. And one more thing. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. And Pride never die. Pride FC never die. Pride has risen.
And we out.
And we out.
Yeah.